I've got an old Toshiba. I'll put the model number in the video description, or in maybe the title. So this thing's really old. Somebody gave it to me because I helped her recover some files off of it, and she just said, here, keep it. So I'm trying to put Windows 10 on it. It's got Windows 7. I think it's a 64-bit machine. I think it's got Windows Premium. It used to have Windows Home, but I put in the fix to turn it into Premium. Not that it mattered. It really didn't make a difference. Big problem with this computer, with this model, it constantly does the wireless goes bad, and I did a video on how to make the wireless turn on and off when it goes out. So I just figured it sits in the corner. It doesn't really, I don't even keep it plugged in anymore. So I went onto the Microsoft site and I downloaded the Windows 10 creation tool, and you have two options with that. You have one to set this PC up, and when you do that, it will figure out if you have 32-bit or 64-bit, and then it will let you know if it's capable of doing the upgrade, and if it can, what problems it's going to have. And then you have another one where you can create the media for it, either on a USB or what is that called? Haven't used it in a while, a DVD. Okay, so why did that darken? Maybe because the screen? Okay, so I just figured, even though I copied the file, and you can see I've got it on this little USB stick, and that's how I downloaded it on another machine and brought it over here. And I thought, yeah, I'd love to have the media, but do I really want to waste DVDs that I'm never going to use? Probably not. So, and if you get the DVD, then you put it in here, it's going to take you through the same thing, I believe. It's going to say what problems it's going to run into with the upgrade. This PC, for the most part, this laptop just doesn't get used. It's a piece of junk. It's a piece of garbage. It's really slow. It's your typical laptop. They put a 5400 RPM drive in there to save money and to stop overheating, and it's a piece of junk. And the only way to get around that is you transfer your files and you put in a 7200 RPM drive on your own, or nowadays you go with an SSD. And the SSD is a possibility, but I want to see if I can put Windows 10 on here. If I can't, I don't really know what I'm going to do with this laptop. I'm probably never going to use it again. My mom's not going to use it, and I might just have to go out and buy a Windows 10 current machine. So this is a test now to see if Windows 10 can be installed on a laptop that's probably, wow. This has got Windows 7 on it. This thing's probably a good 5 to 8 years old. So we'll see together if this is going to work. I like making videos. If you like my stuff, do a thumbs up, subscribe, like, share, comment. If you want to support me, ask for my PayPal info. And if you purchase anything on Amazon, go check out my video description. I always leave an Amazon affiliate link in there. If you click it before you do an order, it won't mess up your order, but it will give me a few pennies to help me out. So we have finally done, I don't even know what that said it was doing. It wasn't doing the install. It's doing, maybe it was doing the install. It's verifying the download. And now after this, I think it's going to tell me what the problems are, if it can do the install. And the next step, this is a legitimate machine, so I do have a key. I've got a Microsoft key from this. And supposedly when you do the setup like this, it should read the key from the machine, and if it's valid, if everything's good, then it won't ask you for a key, and it will just do the install, and then you'll have Windows 10. Yeah, Windows 10, and then you have to spend like a year doing upgrades and upgrades and upgrades. I mean, yeah, Windows upgrades until it finally gets current. If that doesn't happen and it wants a key, then just click skip and then click skip, and hopefully you get through. From what I understand, if you install Windows 10, it will definitely do the Windows 10 install. What might happen is it might say you have an unvalidated Windows 10, and that just means you can't change background colors and screens, and it will put an annoying what do they call, a nag screen up there saying upgrade, upgrade. They want you to spend money. Now, if you're a student, you should be able to do the download through your school portal and not have to pay for it, and everything should be good. You're going to lose your data either way. If you do a clean install Windows 10, you're going to lose your data. On this, I've got data, but I don't really care. Now, if you're not a student, and if you can get a, what is that, what is that copy? A volume license, a VL, volume license, volume something, VL, I can't remember the other letter. Volume license, if you can get a volume license download, then you're good. And if you can't, then you'll have an invalidated and unvalidated, I don't know what you want to say, copy. And how do you get around that? You go and you can buy a key. I think Amazon sells keys. There's some other companies that will sell legitimate keys. You can buy a key from Microsoft, or you can do whatever you need to do online to find a key and try it out. And maybe it will work. Maybe. So, or find a way to generate a key. I don't know. That's not right, so don't do that. But there are ways to make this work. At this point, Microsoft does not support Windows XP. My mom has an XP machine at home, and it works, but it's not safe. It's behind a router. She doesn't do anything on it, so that's fine. She has a Windows 7 laptop that's also a piece of garbage, and this is a Windows 7 that's also a piece of garbage right now. Again, because they're slow. They get the 5400 RPM, and they're just slow because of that. So, I just want to make this a Windows 10. And if it doesn't accept the key, I will find a way to get a key that it does accept, and this will work. So this is going to be a massively long video because all of my videos are long. Everybody complains about my videos. You know, nobody makes you watch my videos. My videos are awesome. Hold on, I got to shut this off. There we go. I've got it on a tripod. So my videos are awesome, and I like to make long videos, and I like to put on 2 billion ads. And people complain. They like, who are you putting on 50 ads in a 20-minute video? Hold on a minute. Nobody says you have to watch my videos, number one. Number two, just because I say 50 ads doesn't mean that they put 50 ads on my video. It just says that there are markers for 50 ads. They do what they want to do. They decide where they're going to put the ads. So you don't have one ad going over the other. And again, it's my channel. If you don't want to watch my video, then don't watch the video. Yeah, I just don't get it. People say, I'm not going to watch your video. Like, don't watch it. I don't care. I put on a lot of cool videos that save people hundreds of dollars in service fees and educate people. And lots of people enjoy my videos. You'd be surprised how many really nice comments I get. Some people say, hey, too many ads, but, you know, you saved my tojos. And you saved me $385 and thank you. Other people, believe me, you're not breaking my heart if you don't watch. But if you watch, good for you, I'm happy. If you help me out with the Amazon, I'm happy. If you watch the ads, I'm happy. If you subscribe, I'm happy. If you do the like, I'm happy. If you leave comments that are nice, I'm happy. Leave comments that aren't so nice, I report you, YouTube shuts your account off, and we're all happy. So, what else can I say? This is going to be a long, long video. I might even have to, the battery might run out. I don't know when I charge this up last. I might have to plug in the power cord. We're only at 47%. Oh, it's creating the media. Wait a second. Now, I think that if you said to create the media, it would create the media, but if you tell it to do it to do the install on the PC that you're doing this on, then it just creates the media, probably in a temporary folder, and then does the install. So I believe that's what the creating the Windows 10 media is all about. Do I have to click next? Oh, whoa, what the heck was that? Tripod's iPod. Let me click next. No, it won't let me click next. It's not even, what's the right word? Highlighted. There's a name for that in programming. So 59%. I don't know. So what's going on, people? Again, I could shut this thing off. Sorry about the monitor flickering all over the place, but I'm shooting 4K video. It's going to be a massive video. Probably going to take me forever. I bought a fast PC. Check out my channel. I did a review on the PC. It saves my buttoximo. With my old Windows 7 machine, which is really old, probably 10 years old, my desktop, to render 4K video. To render a video that's about 20 minutes might take about 4 hours, 6 hours. It's just unbelievable. And on the newer machine, it might take about 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 20 minutes. As far as upload 4K video, even on a home, I have a slow internet connection. I don't want to pay them. Well, I don't mind upgrading, but then I'll lose all my email accounts. So I don't want to deal with Spectrum's little games of, we'll give you a free upgrade, but we'll charge you $10, but we're also going to take away all your email accounts. I don't want to risk that, so I'm just not going to mess with it. That's how corporations make things difficult for everybody. Along that line, the same thing happened. I had an AT&T cell phone. I was with AT&T forever. And when I signed up, it was a very expensive plan because that's just how it was then. And they were actually charging me, like $10 a month for unlimited texting. Unlimited text has been free in this country for years. But because I was in that plan, they were charging me. And I said, well, you take the fee away. And they said, no, if we take that fee away, we have to put you in another plan. And I said, but if you put me in another plan, I don't want to be with you and you'll lose my account. And you're making $90 a month off of me for doing nothing. So why not keep me as a customer and fix the problem? And they said, we can't do that. So I ended up going to Verizon. AT&T lost my business. And after they lost the business, they said, what can we do to keep you? And I said, it's kind of late for that. You didn't want to keep me when I was with you. And instead of paying $90 a month, now I have a phone that is much better. And I pay $45 a month for unlimited everything, including unlimited text. My price went down 50%. And I'm like grandfathered into a really good package forever. Can you say package on YouTube? I don't know. So why was I talking about that? I don't know. I forget. Did it have to do with the YouTuber? I just don't know. Did it have to do with Microsoft? I don't know. Did it have to do with people complaining about my ads? I just don't know. So, I don't know. And you never know, you know. So we're at 59%. And yeah, I was talking about my fast PC, and it really makes a big difference. And that's why, okay, so I was talking about the fast PC and the upgrading the speed. So it takes forever to upload with a medium package. Can you say package on YouTube? That reminds me of a funny story. Not so funny, but it's funny in a not so funny way. I went to lunch with my mom's group. She gets together with a bunch of people for a luncheon. And so we are sitting there. Well, should I say this? If they ever find... No, they'll never find the video. So we're sitting there, and we're eating. And the guy, one of the guys, he says, so, where do you work? And I told him. And then a little bit of rambling. And everyone else over there's talking, and like a minute or two later, he says, so, where do you work? And I told him. He says, so, what do you do? And I told him. And a little bit more talking, and then a couple minutes goes by, and he's like, so, where do you work? What do you do? Where do you live? And I'm wondering, what in the world is going on here? I thought, this guy's like a comedian. It's pretty funny. After a while, I started thinking, this is really funny. This is very funny. And this went on for the whole luncheon. Because I was sitting right next to him, and he kept on talking to me. He talks to who's right next to him. That's normally what you do when a group gets together. You don't talk across the tables. So this went on like, okay, well, yeah, nice seeing you. Hey, did I ask you, well, where do you work? What do you do? Are we still at 59%? And then afterwards, I told somebody about that, and they said, oh yeah, he's got some. I shouldn't be laughing. This is so bad. He's just got some problem, and if you talk to him about sports, he will talk and he will talk and he will talk, and he will talk about when he was in college and when he was working and what he did and places he went. But if you don't get him on the right subject, then it's just, how you doing? How you doing? Where do you work? Where do you work? What do you do? Where you been? So after that, then I realized, okay, this is not a comedy thing, and I just learned to deal with it. So now that I understood. Now we're at 77. Is that 77? No, it's 74. So all was good. Why did I say that? Because of my computer and Spectrum and my email account and people on YouTube talking about, well, we're at 80, 83. So we're going to see together if this is possible. And if it is, then I'm sure a lot of people will say, hey, but there are like a million videos online. Windows 10 came out years ago. Why are you posting this video now? I'm posting this because it's my channel and I want to post the video because that's what I want to do. And nobody says that you have to question it, but if you want to question it, you can. Until I block you from leaving comments because you're annoying me. And I do not allow people to come into my life and bother me. This may take a few minutes. No, not to bother me. This may take a few minutes. You see the message. It's cleaning up before it closes. So did setup actually do the install? I saw it was doing a download. I don't know if it did an install or if it's just doing the cleanup before it closes, and then it says you have to do the install. It never went through, and I never saw it's doing an install or it's updating your drivers. I don't know what it's doing. It hasn't, supposedly when it does this, it does a restart over and over and over again. If I were you, if you have a hardline connection, if you have an Ethernet connection, I would definitely use that instead of Wi-Fi. I'm preparing. Okay, so it is doing the install now. I'm just not a fan of Wi-Fi. See, every time you mention something to me, nobody's talking to me. Every time I mention something, I think of something else. Wi-Fi. I'm not even going to mention. I'm not even going to talk about the whole story. There's just somebody I knew. And her name, I gave her a nickname. She doesn't know, but I gave her a nickname of Wi-Fi. I won't say what other nickname I gave her, but her name was Wi-Fi. And this is a person that just has lots of... Oh my gosh, there's another person that has some problems in the cabeza. Is the cabeza? I think it's the head. A little El Cuckoo Mucho Cuckoo Yamundo. Yes, that's the extent of my Espanoli. So when I saw the thing, when I started saying Wi-Fi, I went, oh yeah, I forgot about Wi-Fi. Oh, Wi-Fi. So my dog just walked in here because she hates when I do something. Getting updates. Did this do the install? My dog, see, the thing that I don't understand is it says getting updates, but in the background, you can see over here, see it? Well, you can't see it now. The background, the desktop from the old install is still there, so I'm wondering why is it there, because I thought it's supposed to wipe all that out. So the dog does not like when I do stuff. If I go up in the loft to do my exercise, she runs in the bedroom and she stays in the corner and sleeps, and when I go downstairs, she's all excited to see me, like, oh, he's back. And she was sound asleep, and I came in with the laptop, and I put it on the floor, and she got like, what is he up to? What's he doing? Why is he doing something? And when I plugged it in, okay, it might wipe out the desktop in a minute. Can we see the desktop? There's the desktop over there. You see it on the left. So she ran out of the room. And I got the laptop set up, I connected the cables, and then I said, come on in here, everything's okay. And she came in and she sat right behind my back. I said, you can't sit behind my back. I'm not going anywhere. I'm here for you. I love you. Just relax, go to bed. And she wouldn't go to bed, so she ran out of the room. It didn't do the startup. And so now she is, where is she? She's by the front door. She's sitting by the front door, getting things to get ready. That's another thing. That's one of her new games that she's been doing the last couple weeks. Like about 3 weeks ago, was it this laptop? No, it wasn't this laptop. She went in the bedroom, and I opened up an area for her, which I've had blocked off, and she went in there and left a major... She walked in the room, and she wanted to go, and I didn't know that she needed to go outside. So I said, leave me alone, go to bed. You're getting a little cranky. And she walked in the bedroom and left a mush of stuff all over a laptop. all over the stand, the monitor, all in the monitor and the monitor stand and on the laptop and all over the cables. And I went, oh my God, no. So I cleaned that up. Oh, here we go. We're doing good. So far. It hasn't said there's a problem. Last update, June 2018. That's when I updated. I don't know. We're doing good. Okay, so she left a mess, and I don't get mad at her at all. I understand, you know, if I was a dog and I had to go, I would just go on the carpet if I had to. So I never get mad at her for doing things like that. I just don't. I'm a very understanding with that. And so a couple days later, I go walk in the bedroom and I'm like, wow, something doesn't smell right here. And I found this big mess and I went, oh my God, no, all over these computer cables. And then I looked and all over another set of cables and all on, what else did you, and then she scooted on the carpet. And I went, oh boy. So, I cleaned that up. I cleaned it up as best I could, and in the morning I went and got the carpet cleaner and got it all cleaned up. Didn't get mad at her, and then a few days later she walked in the room and I went, she needs to go. She needs to go. And she was all excited. We went out there and she did what she needed to with El Numero Uno and El Numero El Doce, and I was glad I took her out at 11 o'clock, even though I was not doing good. It was late. I didn't want to go out, and then so she plays this game every once in a while now. And a couple days ago, 2 days ago, not today, Monday. Today's Thursday. Today's Thursday. On Monday, I think Monday night, I got a fever. I got a fever Monday night, and everybody's saying, "Oh, you got corona. You got the corona. You got the COVID-19. You got to get tested." And I went, "No, I don't. I know what this is. It's because something I ate, and I'm not going to go into a lot of details, but I said I know what it is. Everything's fine. I'll keep the fever. It will go away later tonight, and it will kick in really hard either during the night, and I'll wake up shivering, and then I'll really be in trouble because when I shiver, I will shiver for days and days. Maybe it's in the mind, but I'll shiver for days and days. And if I don't shiver, then I'll be good." So the fever kind of went down, and I woke up the next morning. It was a little bit up there, 199 or something. I don't know. And I run cool, so I run about 97.1, 97.8. So when it's at 98, at nighttime I go into 98.6, but during the daytime it's 97.1. So when it was at 99, I knew something was wrong. So the second day, it was up there, and at nighttime it went up to 101.8. And I was talking to somebody on the internet who does weather, news weather, and she said, "Why don't you take some fever reducers?" And I thought, all right, well, maybe I'll do that. I'm so dehydrated, I need water. But when I drink water at night, then I get chilled. And if I drink tea at night, then I get too hot. You know, my body just freaks out at night. Daytime, I'm good. So I took the fever reducers. I took 2 Advil. And then I thought, I got to get through this. I got to work through this. So I took the ice pack and I put it on my forehead. And I put it on my head, and I put it on my neck, and I cooled myself down. In probably 15 minutes, I dropped my temperature from 101.8 down to 99.2. And then I took off the sweatshirt, and I went, okay, my temperature's normal. I'm not shivering, I'm not boiling, I'm not burning up, because I did what I needed to do. The temperature's okay. And I did not want to go to sleep because I was worried that I was going to wake up again in the middle of the night with the thing peaking, and I'd shiver, and then I'd be in trouble. And so I stayed up most of the night. Well, no, I didn't stay up most of the night. Right after that, that's when the dog decides, I want to go outside. Well, she decided she wanted to go outside, but when it was 101.8. And then afterwards, then I did the whole Advil thing. So 101.8, I put on the ski jacket, I put on a ski cap, I had a t-shirt on, a long sleeve t-shirt. I pulled the ski cap over my ears. I took the jacket and covered my face as much as I could. And it was only something like low 60s, upper 50s, but my body was on fire, and I was just chilled. And she did what she needed to do, and she came back in. She was as happy as could be. I got my temperature down. Went to bed really late, woke up in the morning, 99 99, was it 99, 98.9, 98.8? Maybe, no, I think it was 99 and then it dropped to 98.8 and then it went down to 98.4 or 3 and it's been fine ever since. So like tonight, right before I started doing this recording, while I was doing this recording, I thought something's not right here. I'm sitting here and I am on fire. My face is boiling. I'm starting to sweat a little bit on the forehead and the hair. And I got the thermometer, and I don't even remember. What the heck did it say? I think it said 98.8. So my body at nighttime, I always go through this. I get like a 5-10 minute thing where I'll just be sitting here and I'll just get really warm and very cold. Makes no sense, but I'll be sitting here. Wow. My head's sweaty, my forehead's sweaty, and then my arms are really cold, and I'm freezing, I gotta turn on the heat. I don't understand any of this. Everybody says I'm just weird, which is true. So, I get cold and I turn on the heat. You turn on the heat, you get hot. You get hot, you start to sweat. You start to sweat, you get warm. You start to get too hot, your body starts saying this is not right, and then you go into, it's a mess. It's just an absolute nightmare. So, how did I get to that out of the Wi-Fi? I went to the fever. Was it because Wi-Fi gave me a fever? I don't know. I just don't know. And I'm looking at I'm looking at the thermostat right now. The heat is up really high. And it's up really high. I'm not going to tell you how high it is set up, but it's really high. But I'm in my place. When I go up in the loft, you know, heat rises. This hasn't said that the battery's dead yet. This battery's going to go out sooner or later because I've been recording for, only 19 minutes. 20 minutes. This video is only 20 minutes. Getting updates and we're only at 27%. It's weird with these updates how it just went from, I was going to say it's weird how they jumped 27% to 46%. And I'm tapping the mouse trying to get the screen to get lighter, but it doesn't want to. So heat rises, and right now I'm sitting down here and I'm comfortable. Before I told you my arms were a little cold and I was a little sweaty. If I go up in the loft right now, it will be so hot. I will go, oh my gosh, I can't stay up here. It's boiling hot up there. And so people would say, well, if the heat is up in the loft, why not run a fan? It will circulate the air from the loft and it will move it around the room, because when I do that, then I get the air moving around and the air circulates and then it hits my arms and I go, oh, there's a draftosis, and the draftosis hits my body when I'm comfortable, and then I start to feel a little chill, and then I want to turn up the heater, and then I think you get it. So, so far I'm kind of happy. We're getting the updates. I really think this is going to work. I think I'm going to have a Windows 10 machine, but again, I just don't get it. It has not shut off. It has not rebooted. So maybe what it does is it validates everything, and then it does the update. And if it finds the key, it does what it needs to do and does the updates, and then but that just makes no sense either. That makes no sense because it still has the background. How can you do updates on an operating system unless the operating system is running? And we can clearly see in the background that Windows 7 is still running. So maybe what it does is that's what it does. That's how Windows 10 works. Windows 10, you have the Windows 10 and then it goes in there and it grabs the updates and rewrites the whole install file and saves it to the drive. Just like when you have Windows 10 and you go to do an install of Windows 10, it downloads that Windows 10, there aren't any updates. It really does the whole OS as a new install and then reinstalls it without messing anything up. So that could be what's going on right now. We're locked at 46%. Last time I said it was 27, it went to 46, and maybe it's going to go from 46 to 97. I'm still tapping the mouse. It doesn't want to give me a lighted screen. The dog was sitting at the door. She was sitting at the front door, and I don't know if that was a begging thing saying, I'm watching you, I'm nervous, you're doing stuff and I don't like it, or maybe it was something like, take me out, get me outside, I've got to go. So if I go in the bedroom and there is a load of poofus, that's my new word for it, poofus. because I love my dog. I adore her. And sometimes I say, "Are you Miss Poofus?" So why does it say, okay, now it's level. Sorry if I messed up your neck before. There we're level. I just adjusted. Now, why doesn't this want to lock in place? What, maybe I have to turn this thing? I'm trying to find out what setting on the, why, yeah, it doesn't want to lock in. It won't lock in. This is not good. Oh, here it is. There's a third knobby. Is that going to lock it in? Okay, now you don't have to twist out your neck. So we're at 23 minutes on the video. I know, look, YouTube gives you info when you post a video, and I know the average video that I post is watched for 1 minute and 58 seconds, and most of them are probably watched for like 9 seconds. Unless somebody can benefit from it, if they can really benefit, they watch as much as they have to. We are such an impatient society. Everybody speeds because they've got to get there now. People can't put down their cell phone because they're connected. They've got to get there. You have to read that text message. Please wait. Ready to install. They've got to read the text. They got to read the message that somebody just sent them on FB. I don't want to say the face thing. They've got to read that message. They just heard the thing. They rush over. They walk. They don't even put their cell phone in their pocket. I keep my cell phone in my pocket. I'm not going to walk around with a $1,000 thing in my hand for somebody to go up to me and grab it and run away and have all my info. But everybody nowadays, they walk around, they have one hand. They have one hand and one arm because the other hand is always holding a cell phone. They can't put it down. And then when they go to a restaurant, they put it down. Somebody could run in there and grab it. Or the thing's loaded with germosis because everything you put that on is covered with pooposis. So, being poopus. So, what was I talking about? Yeah, so you rush to get that message on FB, and what is it? Some fool that sent you a blue thumbs up. What in the world is it with people and Facebook? Oh, you can't say that. What's going on with people on FB? Do they not know how to say thank you? Don't they know how to say, oh, that's cool, or thanks, or talk to you soon? You can send them a 50-line message, and they'll send you a blue thumbs up. And do you do that when you're talking to somebody in person? Do you do that when you're talking to your friend? Hey, wow, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. We should have lunch together sometime. Or how you been? How's the family? How's the wife? How's the kids? How's the dog? What have you been up to? Does the person look at you and do a thumbs up and say nothing? How did I get to the thumbs up? We're making sure you're ready to install. So it took you 26 minutes and 20 seconds to let me know if maybe it's ready to do an install. What are you going to say? We checked the machine and we could do an install, but your driver's not going to work and you're not going to be able to use half the stuff on the machine. You won't be able to use the camera on there. You can't use your mouse. We won't be able to support the programs, which I understand, but we can do an install, but your key is not going to work. Does it take you 27 minutes and 4 seconds? And you still haven't told me that. You keep telling me this may take a few minutes. La, 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 la. So, yeah, the tuber tells me, so see how I transition from one thought to another and back? So it tells you how long people watch videos. And now I know if it's a music video, people watch all of that. And if it is somebody with a popular channel and a couple 100,000 subscribers, and they post a video and within an hour they have 5 million views, I think I have 13 million. And it's been how many years to get to that point? My channel's pretty incredible, considering that I'm a nobody. And I'm not getting promoted at all. So my channel's doing really amazing as far as that I'm able to have that. I've got some subscribers. I've got enough to get by. I'd love to have 100, if I could have 100,000 subscribers, I would Believe me, if I had 100,000 subscribers, I'd be raking in the dinero. I'd be raking in the dinero, and there would be enough that I would just be donating and handing it out, because you only need so much in this world. Which brings me to the other point. All these rich people and these people that are multimillionaires, you don't need that much to live on. So when you're a multimillionaire, you don't need that money. You just don't need it. And so they don't know what to do with it. So they go out and they buy $14 million houses. And they buy expensive cars, and they buy expensive cars for their kids, and they buy $5,000 suits and expensive clothing, and they travel all over the place to spend tens of thousands of dollars on their vacations, and they buy vacation homes, and they buy boats. And I don't know if it's because they have so much money that they need to show their status, or because they have so much money they don't know what to do with it, so they just keep spending and spending and being gluttons with all that excessive money that you just don't need. Now, I'm not saying that if you have money, you shouldn't have money, or that if you have money, you should share it. I am definitely a person who, I don't think that people in this world, you don't deserve, my feeling, you deserve to have medical insurance. Everybody should be able to have health. But I'm looking at what's going on now on the news. There are 80% of the people that are going to schools in my community, 80% of them, their family lives in poverty. And this goes from one generation to the next. How do you have 80% of the community living in poverty? Now, I know you got the haves and the have-nots, but if you're a dishwasher, find some way to get yourself out of dishwashing and into a different job so you can move up and advance and get somewhere. Don't stay in the job that's going to pay you low wages for the rest of your life. And yeah, you get by. Don't stay in a job where you're going to have to live in a house with 50 people just to get by. But you should have medical insurance. Don't stay in a lifestyle where your diet is consisting of the most fatty, excessive junk you can eat that makes you overweight and makes you pre-diabetic and makes you have heart attacks and lots of medical issues. I don't know. And then okay, something just happened. Refresh. What's going on here? So, what needs your attention? 30 minutes and 59 seconds. You have got to be kidding me. Continuing with this installation of Windows will remove some optical features. You may need to add them back in settings after the installation. Thank you for telling me that optical installations, what the heck is that? Is that my webcamosis? It doesn't tell me what. Optical. Maybe it has to do, optical is visual. Maybe it's the driver for the little camera that's on there. Just give me the install. Now you're going to check to see if it's got enough space. I thought that's what you were doing for half an hour. Ready to install Windows. It will keep the files and the apps. I thought when you do an install, it wipes out the programs. You know, years ago, that's what these were called on Windows 3.1, Windows XP, Windows Vista, Windows ME. It was a program. Now everything is an app, an apposis. Yeah, keep the files. Okay, so I've been doing this for 32 minutes. I think the light hasn't come on saying the battery's ready to die. Is that my head on the screen? That's my head on the screen. Let me get my head out of the screen. 0, so we're like 3 minutes to 10. I'm just hoping the Pachama Lachama Zachama Wachama, that's the dog, the Poofus Maloofus, the Zooey the Pooey, the Cockatooey, my little lady, my Pachi Machi Zachi, I have so many names for this dog, my little Zoo, Zooey Pooey, Cockatooey. I just hope that she doesn't have to do her little thing. And I don't know, I don't. I don't know how much to trust this whole thing. Last night was my first night without a fever, and I'm doing something, and she sits behind me. And I don't know how to read a dog's mind. How do you know what a dog is thinking? She sits behind me, and I look, and I said, what are you doing? 10%. I said, what's wrong? What's wrong? She sat there and she looked at me, and I said, no, there is no way. We're not going out. And then she went under the computer table and sat by my feet and looked up. And, you know, she's a wonderful dog. She's a very moody dog. She is very demanding. She's stubborn. She's just a tough dog. Has a beautiful heart of gold. She's so loving and so warm. But she is a tough, stubborn, very moody dog. And I said, I don't care if you poo in the bedroom. I am not taking you out. That is all. Go to your bed. And she looked up at me and got away from the table and went in her bed and went to sleep. And I woke up very early this morning, and I thought, you know, I'm already up. Let me go take her out early. So that, and it's incredible that on most nights she can last for 14 hours, 12, 14 hours. I don't know how a dog can do that, but she does. So I think it's just 30%. I can't tell. I don't want to get on the screen. So I'm watching the camera. I'm laying down on the floor. I'm on the floor on my back on something I call Towel Mountain. Before this whole Corona thing, I would shop at Costco all the time. I lived at Costco. And I used to go there and eat all the time. I don't eat at Costco anymore. I went vegan about 2.5 months ago. I've lost 23, 24 pounds. In the last 4 months, I've lost about 12, 14 pounds or so in the last 2 months on being a vegan. So I just changed my diet, and I've lost a lot of weight, and I can't say that I feel better. I'm still tight. Here she comes. She's walking in the room now. Here the game. She's very flustered. But I've changed my diet, and I don't go to Costco. And since the pandemic, I don't want to stand in line with hundreds of people outside. I don't want to be in the store. And now they're coming out with the numbers. Like the numbers yesterday, we had more people pass yesterday in the city than during this whole time. I mean, every day it's going up. And when you look at the amount of people in this country that have passed, that are gone, this is just in January, February, March, in just a few months, more people are gone from this than from the whole Vietnam War. It's incredible. You can go to your bed, but I'm not taking you out. Go to your bed. Go to your bed. She'll stand here and look and do the little begging thing. Go to your bed. Now she's walking behind me. Go to bed. Good girl. I don't want to touch her because if I do, then she's going to sit there and do the begging thing to go out. And there's no way that she needs to go out. She's just very flustered. When I make my YouTube videos, well, I guess I'm making a YouTube video now. When I get out the camera and I set up the tripod and I start talking, she hates it. And sometimes she'll go under the lights and lay down under the lights, and I have to say, get away from here. You're going to hurt yourself. The wires and stands. And then she gets really angry. Like, who are you to tell me what to do? And then she walks out of the room and hides. So right now she's not happy because I'm talking, just like during any YouTube video. It's not even the YouTube video. When I talk to my mom, when anybody calls me up and I make a phone call and she hears my voice, she gets really mad that I'm on the phone, and she goes and grabs a bone and just rips it to pieces out of frustration, like, hang up. And the minute I hang up, that bone gets ignored and she goes to sleep. Yeah, she's like 3 feet behind me, just sitting there watching me. So that's what happened last night. I said, go to bed, and she went in her bed and she slept. And this morning we went out and she did what she needed to do, and all was good. So I think I've been talking. I hard to see the screen. I think it's just 37 minutes. The light hasn't come on yet for a new battery change. I do have a battery. I just heard a dog outside make a woof woof, and when I hear that, she hears that, and usually she goes nutso. So I think what I was saying before is it's really hard to tell, does she really need to go? Like last night I thought she needs to go, but I just didn't want to go. I didn't want to take her out. And a couple days ago she did that, and then she just sat there in the room very like lost. And I have a bell here. I try to train her to go to the bell or the leash to push them so that I'll know. But when she gets really flustered and she walks in and she looks at me and then she sits in the room and then she starts walking around, I know something's not right. And even last year when I had her, I got was it this year? No, I'm trying to think. I had the flu, but I didn't have the flu this year, did I? No, I don't. Maybe it was last year? There's no way it was this year, but I keep thinking it was this year. I had the flu, and I had a really bad fever. It wasn't what I went through a couple days ago. I definitely had the flu. And you can't tell them no. I can't put her outside. She's not going to go on the balcony. So you suit up and you bundle up and you put that ski jacket on, and no matter how much you're shivering, you get out there and you take care of your dog because they need you. And they've got to go. And that's just how it is. So I've seen on TV, I've heard these people, when they have corona, and if it's not bad enough, if it doesn't go into the lungs where it nails them, if it's just really bad, and they said, a new word I learned, rigors, R-I-G-O-R-S, it's like uncontrollable, very intense shaking, shivering and shaking. And these people at nighttime, they say they have no energy, they cannot move, they have no desire to get up, they just want to go to sleep and do nothing. And which supposedly makes it worse for them. It makes their body just break down more. But they go to bed. You stay up because you fear the whole rigors, kind of like I was talking about. I fear when I was sick, waking up in the middle of the night. And someone said there's something about the body chemistry that at nighttime the body chemistry changes and everybody gets a little bit cooler and the body's more sensitive to temperature. And so these people, they say that you fall asleep at night and you wake up on the bed in a pool of sweat. Your clothes are sweated out. Well, that's what I get when I get a mild fever. I wake up and my t-shirt's sweated out, my sweatshirt's sweated out, my long sleeve shirt is, and I dry off and I put on another shirt, and within 10 minutes I'm sweated out again. So, but they say it's just a nightmare. You're sweating, you're in a pool of sweat, you're shaking for hours, shivering for hours and uncontrollably. And then it goes away and your temperature's fine and you think you're good, and then the next night, boom, it hits you again, or a couple nights are fine, and then you think you're fine, you think everything's good, and then it hits you and nails you, and you get worse and worse and worse. And then you either get better, or then it spreads to your lungs, and then you're in trouble. So what do you do if you live by yourself and you have a dog? I mean, if I had that, what do? Do I let her, well, if I'm so sick that I can't move, then obviously you just have to, you got to let them go on the floor. And if you're that sick that you can't clean it up or do anything, then you can't clean it up or do anything. Let me zoom in on here. I think it says 51% or something. This is nuts. We still haven't gotten the light for the low battery. Normally on this camera, now if I was using the regular camera, I'm using Panasonic. Check out my videos if you're still listening. When I first started, I used to use a DSLR when I got into YouTube, and then I thought, you know, maybe I want to go buy a camcorder. And I bought a camcorder from Costco. And it's online. I bought a Panasonic, and I used it for about a day or two. I got it on a really good price, and I used it for about a day or two, and I thought, this thing's just a piece of garbage. I don't want to deal with this stuff. And I took it back, and I took it back to the store, and I got home, and I'm sitting there thinking about it, and I went, what did I do? What did I just do? I missed that camera. I need that camera. And I went back to the store. They were out of stock. And I went online, And luckily, I was able to buy one online. They shipped it to me. That was the only place to get it. The stores that had it in stock were really far away, and I bought it. And I love it. And then after that, I bought another one, and I bought another one that I gave to my brother-in-law. He doesn't use it. I knew he wouldn't use it if I gave it to him, so I gave him the cheapest one that I had. And it sits around and doesn't get used. And this one is a 4K. I did a video on that, a review, and I bought some extra batteries that aren't supposed to work because Panasonic put something in their batteries so that OEM batteries won't work, off-brand batteries. Sorry, I've been talking for half an hour and I'm losing my voice. But, yeah, I'm losing my voice and I need water. But that's okay. I'm waiting for this to go. So I've got an extra power battery on here, and for 4K, normally with the regular battery, I think with 4K I would probably get like 30 minutes of recording. And right now I don't even know. I'm probably up to about 40. And I think when I turned on the camera, it said like an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes with 4K. So, and then I've got another battery I haven't charged up in about a month. And that will get me through. But by then I'm hoping that this thing's going to be installed. So it says it's installing Windows 10, and with this install, we do not see the background. We don't see the Windows 7 background anymore. The thing that's surprising to me is I believe it said it will save all the data and the apps. Now, I thought that this was a clean install. There are two types of install, a clean install and an upgrade. And normally, if you had Windows 7, if you had Windows XP, let's use XP. If you had XP and you did a clean install of Windows 7, it would go in there and wipe the whole hard drive. It would format it, and I don't know if it wiped everything out, but it would put your Windows 7 in there. And if it either wiped it out or it saved all the important data. I think it saved all the important data to an old file. So you had the desktop and everything, but you couldn't run those programs anymore, but your data was saved. And maybe even the programs were saved. And then you could wipe that thing out. There was another thing with which was called an upgrade. So when you were with XP, you could do an upgrade, and it would do the install to Windows 7, or if you were on Vista, it would do it to Windows XP, where it would just go in there and update the operating system to the new operating system, but all your programs and everything still worked. So I believe that this is called a clean install. I didn't see an option for an upgrade or a clean install. All I saw was an install, and I think this is supposed to be a clean install, but the message over there was it will not remove your apps. So if my apps still run on this thing, this will be incredible, and I'll be very happy. I have my Windows 7 machine that I'm running now, and I would love to install Windows 10 on it, even though I love Windows 7. What I do with Windows 10, because I hate Windows 10, is I use the Windows 7, I forget what it's called, it makes Windows 10 look like Windows 7. And you really can't tell the difference. It's very easy to move around. And I'd love to put that on my old machine, but I'm worried that it will wipe out all the programs and everything that I have on there. So let me see now. We've been recording for I don't know, I think it's at 48. I'm not sure. I could shut off the camera for a minute and read all the data, but when you turn off the camera and you turn it back on, poof, zoof, it uses a lot of battery power, and it's better to just leave it alone. So I don't have the red light yet about the camera going, the battery going down. The dog is sitting 1 foot behind me. 1 foot behind me, just watching me. Not even lying down on her side, just sitting there watching me. I don't know, there's two different, okay, so laying down is on their side, and then what is the one where they're sitting up, there's laying down on the side, and then I guess there's laying down where they're kind of, their chin is on the floor and their paws are out on the floor, except with my dog, she doesn't put her back paws on the floor. She kicks them out. She kicks her hind legs out So you see, it's so cute. She kicks out her hind legs and you see the pads of her toes, of her feet. And she's very, she's loving. Most dogs, I think if you did stuff with dogs like I do with her, they would be very angry. But with her, I'll go over, if she's got the pads of her feet up, I'll go over there and I'll tickle her toes. And sometimes she'll get really pissed off and she'll like, who in the world do you think you are tickling my toes? And she'll try to play and she'll run and get a toy and we'll play games. And other times I'll tickle her toes and she'll just roll on her side and let me massage her toes and her claws and her feet and her paws and her belly and her head and her ears, and she just loves it. So I've been talking for almost an hour, which is a long time, and my throat is really dry, and I'm on my side on the floor, and I just put my hand through my hair and it's kind of moist. Can you say moist on YouTube? That's one word you're never supposed to say, is moist. Yeah, so my head's kind of sweaty, my forehead's kind of sweaty. My neck is kind of sweaty, my chest is a little sweaty. My back should be cold and clammy. My back shoulder's a little wet and clammy, and I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable. This is just how I am at night. This is how my body works. Which is so strange, because then, like this morning, I woke up and I walked outside and I went, all right, it's really kind of cool out here. It's really kind of cool, and I want to be able to walk the dog, and I don't want to get cold, but I want her to have a good walk. But I went, it's not that bad. It's just like 59 or something. I'll be fine. Even though I just got over a fever, I'll be fine. And I walked out in a t-shirt, and it was cool. And I came back in and I'm like, man, I'm boiling hot. It was nice out there. But at nighttime, nope. The sweats, who knows? Somebody says, you need to see the doctor. Everybody, you got to see the doctor. You got to go see the doctor. I said, I've been living like this for my whole life. What do I need to see the doctor for? And when I do tell the doctor about some things that I've got, they say, how long have you had this for? And I said, oh, like my whole life. They go, I forgot about it. Don't worry about it. Not a big issue. I'll tell them something that happened. Did it happen again? No, don't worry about it. So, but like when I had the fever a couple days ago, and I was going to do a luncheon type thing on Zoom. I installed Zoom because these people wanted to do a Zoom lunch because we can't get together anymore. And I said, well, I can't do that because I have a fever. Oh, no, you have a fever. You need to go get tested. And I went, no, I don't need to get tested. I don't have to get tested. I'm fine. No, you got to get tested. These are the symptoms. No, I don't have to get tested. I know what this is. No. And then the next day, you've got to get tested. This is not good. A fever 24 hours later. And I went, I told you this was going to happen. So today I told them I'm fine. They went, oh, we're so glad that you were right. Whereas before they were saying, oh, we're not sure if you're right, but we hope you are right. So, oh, come on now. Give me a screen. There's a little bit of lighting. Where are we at? Are you kidding? 36%? This video is going to go for a century. Now, I know if I turn off the camera, it's going to bounce up to 99%. And then the battery will die, and by the time I get a new battery in, it will be over with. But, I mean, come on. Nobody's going to watch an hour video of me installing Windows 10. Especially when they can go watch a video that tells them how to do this in 9 seconds by some guy with an accent. Or some guy using a robotic voice. Hello. Thank you for watching. We are going to show you how to install Windows 10. I am a robot. Yeah, this is nuts. Can you say nuts on YouTube? I did a video where I was showing how to replace a toilet seat, how to install a new toilet seat, one that I bought from Costco. You can check it out if you want. And the instructions weren't that great, but I had, obviously you have the toilet seat that's held on with 2 bolts. And then it usually has 2 washers. No, it usually has 4 washers. A lot of times it has 2 washers on the top, 2 washers on the bottom, and then 2 nuts. Sometimes they're, what are those, lock nuts? Yeah, sometimes it's lock nuts, sometimes it's just a regular nut. And so I did the video and I said, okay, I have just removed my 2 nuts. Can you say nuts on YouTube? And so I posted that video last year, and some female just left a comment on it, and she said, he just removed his 2 nuts. Oh boy, I could talk for hours. I bought a couple Rode mics. I bought a Rode mic and I think a Konica mic, or to plug into the Panasonic camcorder, and both of them were terrible. I just could not get the audio right. Of course, now they were overloaded, and the preamp on the Panasonic is really good, but everything was just, it was either really good or it was distorted, or it was too weak or too loud. I stand behind the camera talking a lot of the time, and those mics are mostly shotgun mics that pick up from the front, and when you're talking from the side or from behind it, they just don't pick up well. So, and on my non-4K Panasonic, the mics in there are really good. On this 4K thing, I stand right behind it and talk, and I have to go and increase the audio in post-processing or processing or whatever you want to call it. So I went out and I bought a digital audio recorder, a DAR, a DAR, and a Tuscan, or I did a video on that too. And it was really good. I was very impressed with it. Very impressed. And very, very impressed. The quality was excellent. But then when I started doing the editing, I'm thinking, do I really want to mess with this where I've got to connect I have to edit and grab the right files and delete the audio track from the camera and then put in the audio. And I know with the editing, it figures it all out, but it was just such a hassle. And I thought, I don't want to mess with this stuff, even though I really wanted it. And the price was not an issue for me. I could have kept it and just kept it around in case. I thought, life is complicated enough. I don't need to deal with this on top of it. So I sent it back, and I have an old audio recorder that I bought, a digital recorder that I bought years ago, that is not up to the quality of the ones of today, but it works really good. And I could have used it now. I would have had some amazing audio. But I don't know. I didn't do that either. So I'm running out of stuff to say. Is this thing still sitting at 36%? Unbelievable. You know, this could take weeks to do. Nobody's going to watch this video. If somebody is at the end of this video, I owe you a popsicle. But there's no way to give it to you, so you can't have it. I thought I just saw the mouse move, but maybe that was just a reflection out of my eyes. Can you have a reflection out of your eyes? Maybe it was a reflection on the... Oh! The hard drive is spinning. It just started to... Can you say hard drive on the tube? It just did something. It went... Okay, the screen just went dark. I hit the mouse pad, it went up. That hard drive just did something. It went... And it doesn't do that unless it's doing something, because it wouldn't do it unless something was happening. So something was happening. It was doing the install, but it then wrote to the drive. So something took place. I'm still waiting to see if it's going to ask for the key. I want to sit up. I'm worried that if I sit up, I'm going to get... My arms are freezing. Remember I told you, I get really cold. My arms get cold at night, and then... oh my goodness. Oh! And on top of that, this vegan thing, I just look behind me. Where is she? Where is she? She's not behind me. Where did she go? Oh, she's in her doggy house. Oh, I love you. I have to be very careful. If I talk to her, she'll think that I'm giving her attention, and she'll walk out of the bed and then start getting jumpy again. But she finally went into bed. And that's what I want her to do. That's why I'm not even stopping. I want her to learn that when I do this stuff, you don't have to run in the bedroom and hide. You can stay here with me and watch me, even though you're uncomfortable. When I'm on the phone, you can stay in here and watch me. Sometimes I'll take the bone away and I'll say, just calm down, just relax. You're stressing yourself out. So, back to the vegan diet. So, I'm buying some of these veggie patties that they have, and a lot of this vegan stuff, it's really weird. The main ingredient in everything, in most stuff, is water. That's the first ingredient, water. The second ingredient is wheat gluten. And I think that's maybe why I had this fever, is because I think some of the stuff got stuck in my system. Without going into a lot of detail, I think it got stuck in my system, and even though I was going to the bathroom like a zillion times a day, and I think that my system just stressed out and something got stuck in there and it got infected, a little bit of a fever, clear yourself out, and you wait for it to all go away. So, one veggie patty. And maybe I'll have one veggie patty in the morning, and then I'll say, no, that's not enough, is it? And I'll look at the label, and it's 130 calories. So if you eat 2 of these, you would have to eat like 12 of these in a day, 12 veggie patties in a day, to have the right amount of calories you're supposed to have just to survive, for your body to function. So sometimes I'll have one of those vegan frozen meals with enchilada and beans and rice. And then later on I'll have a couple of veggie patties and maybe some fruit. And then I'll go look at the label and I'll say, I've only had 700 calories today. You can't live off of 700 calories. Your body will fall apart. And you've got to eat something. So at nighttime I find that maybe I'm kind of cold, I'm kind of chilled. The drive is starting up. And so I'll go have a little thing of, we're still at, I think it's at 37 now. This is ridiculous. I'll have my package of oatmeal, a lot of sugar, because they put a lot of garbage in there. If I finally decided to try some plain oatmeal. I tried the plain instant oatmeal, and I don't like veggies. I'm trying this vegan stuff. I'm not a cooked veggie person. I can eat the veggies raw, but if cooked, it's nasty. But I'm eating these frozen meals with broccoli and spinach, and I'm getting by. You eat it, you swallow it, you gulp it down. Can you say swallow it on YouTube? And they're so well seasoned to cover up all the nasty stuff. They're loaded with sodium. That's the problem with all these frozen dinners always have sodium, but even the healthy vegan dinners, way too much sodium. So why was I talking about that? So I tried but I can eat that stuff. I tried this original unsweetened oatmeal, and I took about 4 spoons of it, and I went, I can't eat this. I just cannot force myself. If I was starving, I would eat it. If that's the only food there, I would struggle, but I could not eat it. I poured it down, I put it in the toilet. You don't want to put that... Oh, she's right behind me. She's doing the begging. I don't know if she wants to walk behind me, or if she really needs to go, or if she just wants my attention. But we're not going out. We are not going out. I took her for a very long, we went late. We went later than normal, and the thing with this dog, she drinks so much water. She probably drinks more water than most people. I fill up the bowl with this huge, she has 2 bowls of water, a big one and a smaller one, and she gulps this stuff down all day. I don't know if it's nerves or if she's just thirsty, but, and then sometimes she really needs to go, and other times, like I said, she'll last 14 hours. So I took her later tonight. I didn't want to have to deal with her pushing me to go out. So I said, we're going, weather's nice, I want you to have a long, I don't want to say the W word, I want you to have a nice time. So we went. And we went for probably 3-4 blocks, and I just said, you're gonna go. I use you can't say the P word on YouTube, can you? So I wanted her to do the P word on YouTube. I mean, I wanted her to do that, and she did it, and then she did it, and she did it, and I said, we're not going in until you do the other thing, because unless we do numero dos, then you're going to want to go later tonight, and I don't want to go out tonight, because if we have to go out tonight, I can take you out for 10 seconds and you'll do the first, can you say that P word on YouTube? But I don't want to walk, I can't, I almost said I did say the W. I don't want to go around and wait for you to do that El Dosi Morosi thing. And she did do it, and so I felt that's good. The problem is it was kind of not solid like it should be. And she's got a really sensitive stomach, and I let her lick the plate for like 2 seconds as she's walking behind me. She wants to get out of here now. She is not happy. She's looking at me. Go to your bed. Go to your bed. She's such a beautiful animal. Oh my God, I almost cried. She's such a beautiful animal. She's walking out of the room and she turns around to look at me. And I said, go to your bed. And sometimes she just doesn't want to be in the room and I'm done, I'm going to hide. And she goes to sleep and to have peace. And other times I think it's like she goes to walk out of the room and she'll turn around and look at me and wait for me to say, it's okay, go ahead. And then she does. So she's just a wonderful, I'm so lucky to have her. As exhausting as she is and as tough as she is, she's a tiny little dog and she pulls me and yanks me around and has massive strength. And that's something, a lot of people say there are no untrained dogs. They're bad trainers. And with her, I'm not a bad trainer. She's very good at a lot of the stuff I trained her on. When I started training her, I was shocked that she knew it, and I don't think she was trained as a puppy. She was a rescue dog. She was a surrender, and I can understand why they surrendered her. I would never do it, but she is such a very difficult dog to take care of as far as personality and moods. And I don't know if you can hear that in the background. She is now kicking her towel. She's kicking she used to have 14 beds in this place. I threw out about 3 of them that were smaller. I think she's got about 10 beds here and a couple at my mom's house. And she used to rip up the beds, so I bought, that's right, I was going to talk about towels before. I went at Costco when I was talking about Costco. I bought a zillion, I probably have 20 towels here. 20 large towels. You have your hand towel and then you've got there's a bathroom towel and there's maybe a bigger towel, then there's the beach towel, then there's a towel between that. I've got lots of towels. Every one of her beds has a towel in it, or a couple towels, so she doesn't rip the bed apart anymore. She scratches the towel and then kicks it around to make her little nest. And in the living room, right in the middle of the living room, my mom came over and she says, what in the world are you doing? This place, look, it's just, the dog owns this place. Because there's everything, there are towels, there's bedding, there's dog beds. I have 10 towels in the living room, and each towel is folded in half. And so there's 10 towels, so you really have 20 layers of towel. And then on top of that, I have a big blanket. And I call it Towel Mountain. And during the day and sometimes at night, she will go on Towel Mountain and prop herself on there and sleep on it. So I'm laying down on the floor right now doing this video, and I just put my hand on my arms because I'm really starting to feel cold. And we're at 71%. So maybe this thing is going to be done soon. And if it's done, as far as optical, maybe I'll be able to get the drivers for I don't know, was it the optical as far as the optical mouse, or was it the optical as far as the camera that's in here? That's the whole point of doing the Windows 10, is to get the camera. But the big thing is, I had a neighbor, and she was in her 80s, and she just got too old to live by herself. It wasn't safe anymore, and so she was going to move. And they had an estate sale, so I went over there and I told her, I said, if you need any help with anything, you let me know. If you need stuff moved out, I will come over and help you before her son, she had a son, who was going to come here and get everything out of here, get it in a truck, and then she was going to fly to her assisted living across the country where she was born, or where she grew up, or where she lived. And so he wasn't here, and I told her, I said, here's my number, if you need anything, let me know. And she said, what do you want here? And I said, well, I'll take this dresser, and let me pay you for it. And she says, you don't have to pay me. And I said, no, I'll throw out the dresser I have, and I'll take your dresser so I'll use it. It will have a place to stay. And she didn't want things to go to waste. She did not. She wanted everything to have a home. And she had a coffee table in there. Nobody would pick it up. They couldn't get rid of it. She said, I don't want I don't want it to go to waste. It's got to go to somebody. And we knew it had to be out of there because the place was closing escrow that next day. And she wanted somebody to have it. So me and the realtor said, I will take it. And I took it and I moved it over to my place. And after she moved out, I put it outside by the trash for somebody to pick it up. Hopefully somebody, I'm sure somebody picked it up and took it. But she just didn't want stuff to go to waste. And so she had a laptop, and I said, let me help you with this. Let me back up your files. She was going to donate it. I said, you can't donate this. It's got all your passwords, all your accounts. Somebody can steal that, and you'll be in big trouble. And I said, let me back up all your pictures. And I backed everything up for her. I put it on DVDs, and I said, you take this with you to your new home. You've got all your important files. And she said, I want you to have the laptop. And I took the laptop, and I cleaned it up, and I bought new memory. I put it in there, and I gave it to my mom. And as I was saying before, it's a piece of junk. She always had problems with it. I don't know if it's not a fast machine. It's a newer, slow laptop. And it's a piece of garbage because it has a 5,400 RPM drive in it, and they're junk, so it takes forever for anything to happen. And then the Wi-Fi is cutting in and out constantly, and that's at my mom's house. So I'm hoping that if this thing, the full Windows 10 installs, I can bring it over to her house. Even if she can't do Zoom with her friends, with the, if I can't get the camera to work, that doesn't matter. She wants me to buy her, she says, buy me a new computer. She's got the old XP that I gave her that's really old, and she's got this new piece of junk Windows 10 machine that she just says, buy me a computer that's going to run that I can use. Yeah, she's elderly too. She has a hard time using computers and remembering how to do stuff, but on the things that she can do, you can't do it on these old junky laptops. So hopefully the Windows 10 installs fine, and if it works good, I'll be thrilled. And if it works good but it's slow, then I'll go spend the money. I'll go buy an SSD and I'll transfer the files over, install it in this machine, and if it runs good, I'll be happy. I put new memory in this thing also, so. Did I say so? Not so as in so and then so, but not so as in it's so. So, as I was saying, we're at 74%. I'm on the floor. I just took my hands and put them around my arms, and they feel cold. And I always thought, that's kind of weird. Why does it always feel cold? Because when people come up to me and they put their hands on my body, they go, oh, you're really warm. Your body's warm. When I put my hand on other people, I go, wow, you're freezing. But I always wondered, why when I take my hands and I put them around my arms, why does it feel like my hands are really warm and my body is really cold? And I don't understand why. I don't know but I read that that's normal. When you put your hands on your own arms, normally your hands are, unless you have really cold hands, normally your hands are warmer than your arms. So when you put your hands around your arms, wrapping yourself a little bit, and your arms feel cold, that's a normal thing. You shouldn't worry. Now I'm going to take my hands and I'm going to put them on my chest and neck, and they're kind of sweaty, clammy, because that's just how I am. And I'm sitting up now. Probably sitting up will help the blood flow, wake me up a little bit, get the body. Okay, now I can see better. When I was on my side, I really couldn't see. 74%. I don't know how long I have on the recording with this battery. The battery light hasn't come up yet. My voice changed, and I'm surprised the Bowser did not walk in here saying, okay, I need to beg him to go outside. 81%, we're almost done. All I want to do is get through to the point where it doesn't ask for a key and it says that I have a valid install. And after that, I'm 100% sure nobody's watched this video. Nobody watched, like I said, 1 minute and 58 seconds from my videos. No one's going to sit here and watch a 2-hour video, especially me giving a rambling thing going from one story to another about Wi-Fi, having emotional problems, to Wi-Fi on the laptop, to the dog needing to go outside, to corona, to a fever, just to everything. But if you got through the video all the way to the end, leave a comment and I'll come back and reply saying thank you for being the most awesome boss ace groove A person in the world. but I won't remember what I'm supposed to say, but I will thank you. And I don't think anybody's going to watch this much of the video. They might go from the front to the end to see what the results are. Kind of like what you do when you're watching those movies you shouldn't be watching. You're like, I don't want to watch all this stuff. I have no interest in it. I just want to see the the money shot. That's what they call it, the money shot. There's another name for that shot, but I can't say it. We're at 81%. We're almost done. We're at 82%. I think it's going to crank out right now. You know, it's really weird when you do computer stuff or when you do downloads. When you do downloads, it will go racing through and you get, oh, you're at 90%, 92%, 93%, 94, and then you get to 95% and the thing locks up and it sits there for another hour till it does that last 5%. And sometimes you're doing an install and it just races through, it drags through like this, 85%, and then all of a sudden at the last few seconds it just goes all the way through. 85, now we're at 86. So I'm guessing on here it's just going to zip through to the end. 97, 91, 90, 92, 93, 90, 93, we're almost there, 95. Oh my God, we're almost at the end. We're approaching 94, 94, 94. Do I hear 94, 95? If you're in the U.S., make sure in November you vote blue to end this nightmare. I used to get online and I would do lots of surveys and polls. What do you think about what's going on in the country? And like all the TV all the TV polls you had, we're a divided country. We've always been a divided country, but the blue has more votes than the red. But the way the red has rigged the whole system, the red always wins, even though they don't win by the amount of votes. So now when I get online and I do my polls, see, I told you about 95%, it just locks up and it sits there forever. Now when I do my polls, I don't know if all these people are infected, so they're not getting online, or if they've just given up, or if they're frustrated. Your PC will start in a few moments. But now when I do my polls, about 90% of the people say I'm voting blue, or I was red and I'm now voting blue, and only a few people say they're voting red. And when I look at the accounts of these people, boy, do they have a little cuckoo problems. They are very angry, very bitter, very unhappy. Most of them are males, overweight, unsuccessful, and just bitter. So it's going to start in a few moments. It didn't say a few minutes, instead it said a few moments. The battery is still holding up. I don't see that on the camera going off. I'm glad I bought this extra battery. There have been some times where I've been recording and I didn't have this battery on and I had to rush to get the power cord, and then I had to find an extension cord to plug into the power cord, to plug into the power box. Can you say box on YouTube? But this battery, I think I charged it up yesterday. No, I charged it up 2 days ago, and I did a video yesterday, and then I didn't think it had enough power to be able to do much more, but obviously it does. So I've got that video that I have to process, and then I've got this video, which is just, I've been talking for over an hour. Can I see what it says? Does it say? Is that an hour and 16 minutes? The upload on this thing is just going to be like 12, 15 hours because it's 4K. It's enormous though. But if you did get through, I appreciate it. You can leave comments. You can leave lots of comments on all the stuff I said if you want to. And this is an example of what I was telling you, how you get to the end, you get to that 90, especially on YouTube when you're uploading, and you get to 99% processing, and then it says processing 99%, and it just sits there and sits there, and you go, oh my God, what is going on? Oh, she's going to be so happy when I turn off this video. And that is what I'll do. I'll turn off the video and I'll work on this tomorrow because I've been doing this for a couple hours. I don't want her to... She likes quiet. She is a little lady. She just likes quiet. She likes the TV off. When the TV's on, a lot of times she'll stay in here with me, but when I turn off the TV and I turn the lights down, she gets happy. She likes it when it's quiet. When I lay down in my bed, she knows that it's quiet, and she usually gets up and changes beds because it's a comfort thing to her. She knows it's time for her to go into her deep sleep, and there's safety in that to her, I think. So, but the lights are on, the camera's going. I've been talking for an hour and a half, and I know she's not happy. She is definitely not happy. And once I turn this off, she'll run in here. She will lick my forehead. She'll be happy, and she'll probably do some begging that she wants to go out. And I don't want to do that because I don't want her to start getting trained to think that she can go out every night. She can if she needs to, but I don't want her to start pushing that because that's very difficult. And when I first got her, we used to go out at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock every night. And then over time I realized I don't want to take her out at 11. It's dark. I don't want to use the flashlight. I don't know if there are raccoons walking around. I don't know what's going on. There are cats around there. I don't know who's walking around the bushes, who's in the parking lots. And we started going earlier and earlier. We started doing at 8 o'clock and 11 o'clock. Then we started doing 6 o'clock. Then I did it right before sunset. Then when it was daylight savings time, I said, nah, we're not dealing with that. And I started taking her at 4 o'clock or 4:30. And she handles it really well. Sometimes she doesn't. A few moments, still checking the camera. Battery is doing good. Hard drive is making some noise. We're getting there. Installing Windows 10. So you too can install Windows 10 like I just did by getting the Creation tool. And they're still keeping it online. It's really weird, you know. They have never made money. They've made money, but they've made minimal money with Windows for personal use. They make their money with corporations and businesses. They make their money with the Dells and the HPs that buy the operating system to install on their computers to sell to people. They make their money with corporations that buy volume licenses to install on all the machines at their at the workplace. And yeah, they've made money selling to people, but they really didn't make a lot of money. It was just a big hassle for them. And that's finally why they just said, we don't want to support Windows XP. It's expired. We're tired of it, Windows 7. And everybody's going to Windows 10. And if you don't go to Windows 10, then you're just not going to get updates anymore. And if you go to Windows 10, you get updates. And that's why they said if you have a version, it's upgradable. Windows 10 is free. After that time, Windows 10 is not free. But they never took the Creation tool off their website because they know that people are going to play the how do I get it free. And again, they don't make they don't make money off of personal. They're not even trying to make money off of the personal. Yes, they still sell the Windows 10 retail version for people that want to go out and spend $300 or $200 when you can go out and buy a laptop and get it, or a desktop and get it installed for free. But they're not really making money off of it now for personal use. So that's why the Creation tool is still online. You can get it off their website, and that's all I did. I didn't show me downloading it, but I downloaded it. I put it on a thumb drive. I showed you that little red thing, that knobby hanging out of the laptop. And I clicked on it, and you've been watching with me for the last hour, and I can barely see I think it says an hour. Is that an hour and 21 minutes? I don't know. Oh, I stopped talking. It got very quiet in here. I almost fell asleep. We're at 10:47 p.m. Los Angeles time. I think we're the 15th. Is this the 15th of April? I think tomorrow's my sister's birthday. One of my sisters. Haven't talked to her in years. That's a story in itself. I'm not really going to go into that now. Family issues, trying to take over trusts before their time and trying to take money. And you know, every family that I've told about this, most of them, I would say like 99%, 95%, end up with issues like this. Sometimes it's caught early and there's no problem, And but there's a problem, and other times it's not caught early, and somebody walks away with stuff they shouldn't. But haven't talked to her and the other one in a long time. And her birthday's tomorrow. Normally I would be calling up saying happy birthday, but by their choice, there is no contact, and I don't know if it's that's just how it is. So, but I think it's her birthday tomorrow. Could be her birthday today. I don't see the calendar. I don't have the clock in front of me with the date on it, and my watch is not on. So, but I think tomorrow's her birthday. Yeah, I'm really tired here. So, with what's going on now, I don't really like to watch TV. I used to watch not a lot of news, but a lot of news, and I used to watch a lot of political news. But all of a sudden, when this whole nightmare started in the world and it hit the U.S., all that political news just disappeared. The election news overnight, all the corruption. And there's a lot of corruption going on. There's a lot of fraud and corruption and stealing and unethical criminality going on. But all of that disappeared from the TV. And it's all replaced now with 24-hour coverage of the virus. And what replaced the political nightmare about the election has now been replaced with the political nightmare of incompetence and corruption and fraud and taking things from the states, taking supplies from the states, promoting medication that turned out to be harmful, that gives, the hard drive's going, harmful, that can give people heart attacks and make them disappear from this earth. A lot of incompetence, tens of... My throat is so dry. And I really need water. Tens of thousands of people that are suffering and not going to make it because of the incompetence and the lack of getting involved and protecting the country early. And I'm not going to name, I'm not going to say DT did that because you already know who I'm talking about. And if you agree with me, then you're probably like a majority of the country now, including the people that supported him, who are saying this guy is a danger to all of us, and we are in this mess because of him. And he will go down in history as being the worst person in the White House ever, the most corrupt and the most dangerous and the most destructive. So I don't watch the news now. I'm not going to. I watch a little bit of it and then I go, oh, turn this off. It's not good for your mind. It's not good for your emotions. It's not good for your, it's just not good. And other people, they tell me, they say, you're right, I should watch it. And then they call me up a few minutes later and say, hey, turn it on. I'm watching it. You got to see this. And I go, well, I thought you weren't going to watch it anymore. So the hard drive's just cranking out. I think we're done in a couple minutes. Just check the camera again. The battery light's not on. So we're doing good. I have shot 4 hours of 720 by 60 frame video on the GoPro. And that just takes forever to process and to upload because it's 60 frames. It's double the frame rate of this. This is 30 frames, but it's 4K. So it's double, it's quadruple. It's 720, 1080, what is the other one? 1440 and then 4K, 28 something and then 2160. So this is going to take forever. Processing will go good. If I was processing this on my old Windows 7, is that Windows 7? Yeah, it used to be an XP machine and then I put it on Windows 7. I set it up. I finally realized I can't keep this machine XP anymore because I can't watch any videos. I can't do anything. So I backed everything up. I put on Windows 7, installed all the programs again, and but it's an old machine. And it's not so much an old machine now. It is an old machine. It's got a lot of memory. It runs a massive amount of programs, but it's an old processor. It's a 12-year-old processor. It's not made to handle video. And this laptop could probably do better than my desktop now. But with Windows 10, it's definitely going to be better. and the computer that I bought strictly for my YouTube videos is a Windows 10 machine, and that's all I use it for is Windows 10 and processing of YouTube. This is the first year that I ever claimed a business expense for the tuber, and wrote off the computer because it is a 100% used for YouTube. And I can prove that. I can prove it, so it's a legitimate write-off. I'm tired. I'm really tired. Back to my getting hot and cold, and yeah, I've learned my lesson. When I'm really tired, I usually don't go to bed at 11. If I go to bed at 11, a few things happen. If I go to, your Windows will, it's still at the moment. I thought it said it was going to reboot. We'll restart in a few moments. If I go to bed at 11, I'll probably wake up at like 2 or 3 in the morning, and I'll go like, I'll be wide awake. And it's kind of hard to go back to bed after you wake up in the middle of the night. So I normally don't go to bed at 11. And remember I was talking about, I had the fever, and that's one of the other things that always worries me is if I'm not feeling well and I go to bed, only when I'm sick. It doesn't happen when I'm well. But if I go, it still has the what is this? We still have the desktop on there. We still have the Windows 7 desktop. What's going to happen when it reboots? You see down at the bottom, I think it says Windows 7 Premium. What's going to happen when this thing reboots? Am I going to get it? It would have been really nice to be able to do a dual boot. I am sure you can do a dual boot. I don't know how to do a dual boot. I don't want to figure out how to do a dual boot. Loading files. People, we are getting there. Something's happening. Something is happening. That's the Windows 10 backdrop over there. That's the Windows 10 backdrop. Now, if I see on my desktop my Windows 7 programs, I will be thrilled. If they put it in a folder, then that means my apps probably will not work. Why is it working on updates? Didn't it just install an update? So sometimes I'll, if I'm not doing well and I wake up if I go to bed at 11 o'clock because I'm just exhausted, I just get so scared that I'm going to wake up just freezing and cold. And that's probably my biggest issue in life with health, is worrying about being cold at night. Because normally I'm hot at night, unless I go outside and then I'm cold at night. So 11 o'clock, I'm tired, but I'm not going to go to bed because I'll wake up in a few hours. I'll probably stay up till about 1 o'clock, 1:30. And then I'll go to bed and I'll wake up at 7:30, and I'll get the dogger out. And then since we're all on lockdown, LA lockdown, California lockdown, coronavirus, COVID-19, Trump is a failure. Since we're all in, we're in quarantine life, then I'll get up, I'll take her for a walk. I'll take her for a W, and then I'll go eat something, and then I'll go eat 300 calories of veggie patty, and then I'll go lay down and take a nap. It's fascinating to watch. You know, I'm a very patient person when I'm not impatient. And for me, I don't want to get sick. I don't want to get a fever. I don't want to get that cough. I don't want to have my lungs congested. I don't want to end up in the ER. I don't want a tube down my throat. I don't want to be part of the, is it 80% who get the tube that go home, or is it 80% that get the tube that never leave the hospital the right way? I don't want to deal with that. I can't even handle a cold. So for me, I'm masking up. I'm very careful. And I know a lot of people say, I masked up, I did everything right, and I still got sick. Well, I don't know how you can get sick. You can't get the stuff unless it gets in your schnozzle or your mouth. And you're around somebody and you did something, or you weren't masked up properly and it got through. So I don't want to get sick. If I get sick, I don't want to go through the suffering. If I get sick, who's going to watch the dog? I don't know about anybody who can watch this dog. I don't want to die at my age. I don't want to die. I don't want to get ill. I don't want to infect my mom. If I have to take the dog over to my mom, how's she going to take care of this dog? She can't get the dog out there and take care of it and walk it and put it out in the yard. But she would do it if she had to. And I just don't want to deal with it. So for me, I'm staying home. I go to the store, I go to the market, I buy the food, take it over to my place, take it over to my mom's, and then I go back home and I stay here. And all these people, oh, the weather's sunny, the weather's nice, I've got to go out to the beach, I've got to ride my bike, I've got to jog in the middle of the street. The thing that I think was very noticeable, if you watch the videos online, they were showing what happens when somebody jogs by you. If they're when they're jogging, 1%, when they're jogging, as they breathe out of their mouth, this huge wind of droplets goes flying out of their mouth. It's like a sneeze almost, and it's nasty. And then if you're next to them, it blows into your mouth. If you're behind them, it blows into your face. So first, a lot of the joggers were staying on the sidewalk, and I think I don't know if they finally got a heart, or if they realize they're disgusting. So now a lot of these joggers, they just get off the sidewalk and go out into the street to get away from people. So I mask up, I'm really careful, I stay away from people, and then I go back in. I rode my bike one day when it was nice out there, but I don't need to go to the beach. I'm not a person that goes to the beach. I don't need to ride my bike on the bike path. I don't have to be out I don't have to worry that I'm trapped in the house and I need to be out because it's nice and I have to live. You know, these people, they're like these people I was telling you about that are on FB, that they get that message and they're walking around with a cell phone in their hand all day because they are hooked to this thing. It's their life and they can't put it down. And so I come home and I stay home. And I'm fine with that. And that's probably going to be life for at least another year. I know it's not an exciting life, but once this is over, I believe I heard today where they're calling it herd immunity. And the herd immunity means that not until when 60% of the people in this state have had the virus. That's a lot of people. This state has 40 million people. And I heard weeks ago, they said a majority of the people in this country are going to get this thing. It's like the flu. You're going to get it unless you hide. So when 60% of the people get it, that will mean that enough people have it, that 2%, that people are not spreading it anymore, and your chances of being safe are a lot better. But that doesn't mean anything, because what happens if somebody comes in from another state or another country on a plane and walks by you and they're infected and you are not masked up and they sneeze? Yeah, you got herd immunity, but you caught it from somebody that didn't already have it, and now you're in trouble. So until that vaccine comes out, nobody is really safe. And even if you've had it, they don't know about immunity. People have the flu. People get the flu shot every year because people get the flu every year. Even when you get the shot, you might get the flu. And if you don't get the shot, even if you've had the flu, you're still going to get the flu. You get a different version of it, but you're going to get the flu. And chances are the same thing with this, that if you get this, you're probably going to get it again. So until that vaccine comes out, we're all vulnerable, which is very strange because they did a poll, they did a survey. It's always they, but a survey was done of if the vaccine was available today. Now, before I finish that, the vaccine is available for the flu every year. Less than 50% of the country gets the flu shot. Over 10,000 people a year die in this country because of the flu. And it's not just the elderly or the immune compromised. 10,000, God, 3%. When is the light on the battery on the camera going to go? I'm really tired. After I'm done with this, I'm definitely going to have a packet of oatmeal. I need the calories. I need the blood sugar. So less than 50% get the flu shot. And with the coronavirus, the COVID-19, the LA lockdown, the California shutdown, the quarantine life, the Trump is a failure. When I think they said like 30%, 33%, 1/3 of the people polled said that if the vaccine was available, they would get it. 2/3, 60-some% of these people said, nope, I will not get the vaccine. They didn't ask if they trusted it or if they were worried that they would get sicker from it. 2/3 of the people said, without saying it, they said, yeah, I am really tired. Who? 5%. This is just going to crank along. I know this one. It's when it builds up to about a few more percent, it's just going to zip on through. 1 hour and 38 minutes. Unbelievable. Is it because of the 5,400 RPM drive? I think part of it, yes. And yeah, most of this, I don't think it's being done with the processor. It's done with the hard drive. And 2/3 of the people are okay saying, I'm going to take my chances. I'm going to go out there. I'll take me. And when it gets to that point, these people they don't really have a lot going on up there. They're not going to mask up when it gets to later on down the line. They're not going to mask up. I mean, good for the Asians, the Asian countries, the Asians that come out here. They mask up all the time. They protect themselves. And I have a lot of respect for them doing that. They're not wearing the best masks for protecting themselves, but they're doing something. The people out here, 2/3 of them said, I am willing to risk being sick at home for 2 weeks with massive fever, massive cramps, rigors, shaking, massive pain, and I am willing to take the chance that my lungs will get completely clogged up with gunk to the point where I need to go in for oxygen and the oxygen doesn't work and they have to put me in a coma and stick a tube down my throat so that I can breathe, and I am okay taking the risk that I will not survive because I don't want to get that shot. I just don't want to get it. I want to go to the beach because I want to do what I want to do, but I don't want to get the shot. 7%. So it's just going to get to a point where it's going to go 7%, 20%, 40%, 10%, 9%, 8%. You can't count backwards. And then we'll get to 90%, and then it will be done. And then I can relax, and I can turn off the lights and give my dog a hug. And I'll give her 2 little pieces of kibble and hope that she goes to bed and doesn't want to go out. But if she wants to go out, I'll take her out because she's my girl. And I love her very much. But I can't talk like I'm talking to her now because she'll run in here all excited and then I'm going to have to say, go back to bed. 8%, we're moving along. Boy, look at this. It's only been how many years since I started this video? I'm really surprised the camera's gone this long. I do know where the extra battery is. These things are not cheap. They're not cheap if you buy them directly from Panasonic. I think the battery is like $90 for the battery. Unbelievable. But if you buy it third party and it works, I think I bought 2 of these with a charger for about $45 or 60, whatever I paid for it. Definitely worth it. Come on, let's get to 9%. Can I have a 9? Can I have a 9? Number 9, I need a 9. Where is the 9? I must have a 9. Has anybody found a 9? Where is the 9? Give me a 9. Please find the 9. Where are you, Mr. 9? Hello, 9. There's 9. 9, listen to me. And if 9 took that long, I could count. I could count how long it takes between digits, but it's never even. You know, what's between 8 and 9 is not going to be what's between. If it took me a minute to get between 8 and 9, it could take me a minute to get between 20 and 30. So, that's why I wish they would come up with a better way than giving you the percent. I wish they had a bar thing on there that showed you this is going to take this long. We calculated it and it will take this many minutes. Make sure you got battery power so that you can make a 10-hour YouTube video that nobody's going to watch. And I'm looking to see if there's water on the table, and there is no water on the table, and I don't want to walk. I almost said the W word. I don't want to go there and get any water because I don't want to disturb her. And I don't want to get water. It will cool me down a little. But again, when I have that water, it's also going to chill me out a little. And I love having tea at night. If I have tea, when I have tea, I have like 3 or 4 cups of tea in a big mug. It's like a 12-ounce glass. So it's probably 3 cups of tea in one big mug. And I gulp my tea down really fast. And after I do that, my body, it's just like drinking 100, well, it's probably 100 and some degrees of liquid, and I gulp it down really fast, and then my body, I just start sweating, and I'm burning up, and I'm pouring, and my body's on fire, and I go, oh my gosh, I'm on fire, it's like I have a fever here, and then I get really cold, and I get hot and cold, and I think I've told you this story a zillion times. So I would love to have some tea right now, but not the best thing. The apple cinnamon instant oatmeal that I've been buying is delicious. Again, it's got a lot of excessive sugar that I wish it didn't have, but it's low enough in calories and it's okay for the body, and it will take care of me for the night, and it will probably give me the calories that I should have, and it will stop my body from feeling that it's off balance and out of I don't think there's a blood sugar thing. I just think the body needs a little bit of caloric intake right now. Looking at the timer on this, 1 hour and 44 minutes. Oh, unbelievable. Why are you doing this to me, Bill? Why do you do this to me? Why do I have to wait 2 hours to upgrade this? But if it upgrades and it works, I'm going to be a camper of happiness. I don't camp, so I can't be a happy camper, but I will be happy. And I think the D will be very happy. The DG will be happy that I stopped talking, I turned off the camera, I shut off the lights, and I let her get some sleep with some peace and quiet. And she'll curl up in that bed as happy as can be that all of this is over, and that she has some peace and tranquility and quiet for the night. I really want to stretch out and lay down again. Okay, so I stretch out and I lay down and the hard drive picks up. I start hearing the drive go. I can't see the screen. I'm assuming you can see my knee in there's my shoe, my sock. Hello, Mr. Sock, how are you? Do. Gotta be careful doing that because she'll hear that and say he's talking to me, even though her name is not Mr. Sock. Still watching the camera. Just like I was talking about how I hate this percentage thing, it's the same thing on the camera. You don't know that the battery's ready to die until a little red light comes up that says almost ready to die. And then you got to press that button really fast to save everything to the memory card before you lose the last bit of it. And then you got to run across, in my case I have to go across the room, which I could do now. You got to get that battery, and then you got to plug it, pull the other battery off, put the new battery on, start the camera up again. And yeah, so I just stretched out, and I put my hand on my lower back, and my hand is obviously really warm, and my lower back is a little cool, and not sweaty, but definitely cool. It feels chilled, and it's probably not chilled, it's probably just my warm hand. I'm going to have to look that up on the Googleos sometime tonight or tomorrow if I remember, is why do your hands feel, ooh, are we at 10%? Why does your body feel cooler to your hands? And then it will say it feels cooler because your hands are hotter than your body. But there are people, like I was saying, that have really cold hands. It's gross. Remember when you were, when I was a little kid and I was in school and we had dances You'd have to do the dance. I don't even know if they do that anymore. And they can't do it now. You can't touch anybody's hand anymore because you might spread germs, or you might end up in court. But when I was a kid and we were in school and you had the little Valentine's dances or the dances in the auditorium, and you didn't know what to do, 11%, you didn't know what to do. You're just a little punky kid. And the teacher says, okay, I'm going to show you how to dance, or we're going to do some festive event. And you'd hold your hands out and you'd have to do some little whatever. And you hold your hand out and you touch this wet, sweaty, clammy hand and you go, ew, this is gross. And yeah, I guess that even happens today in adulthood. But that happens with me because I put my hand on my back and I go, oh, wow, my back is kind of cold and sweaty and clammy, and my hand is warm. So maybe I'm kind of fighting. My hand is not happy with touching my back. I don't know. Boy, I just lie down again. I'm cold. I'm not freezing. I'm comfortable. That's what it is. I just took my hands and I wrapped them around my arm. I kind of put them around my arms, my forearms. And I needed that heat. If I put a sweatshirt on, I would probably feel really comfortable right now and it would take care of all of this. But Bowser might hear that and think we're going somewhere. But I promise you, the minute this thing shuts off, I'm going to make that that little dish of apple cinnamon oatmeal. And I might even do it if the battery goes dead. I'll swap out the battery and I'll go make the meal and come back in here and finish this off. Let me zoom in. Oh, am I hungry? 12%. It's so slow. Oh, every time I say something, something happens. I've been doing that my whole life, though. I think something and something happens. That happened with the person I was talking about Wi-Fi. I had a dream. That Wi-Fi was in the house and all the windows were open. For some reason, all the windows were open and there was a moving truck and everything that she had was moved out and she was gone. And so I wrote down the dream in detail. And then a little bit later, I said, hey, I haven't noticed this person in a while. And it turns out that they moved out. They moved out right about the time that I had the dream. And then I had another thought. I said, that person is going to find a boyfriend. Going to find a boyfriend and get pregnant. So they get a meal ticket. And then they're coming back. And you know what? I saw the vehicle and I went, whoa, the vehicle's here, but I don't see anybody. I don't know what's going on, but is she here? Is she not here? Is she here? Is she not here? And then one day I saw something that I thought was a baby thing in the back seat, and I went, well, no, is there a baby around here? Because I haven't seen anybody. And then I found out, she's back, boyfriend's back, there's a baby. So my dreams are very awesome and cosmic and intense. And oh my God, remember when I said it was almost 11 and the news was going to be coming on soon? It's 17 minutes after 11. Why in the world does it take almost hour and 51 minutes to do this? It's a good thing I didn't spend the other 3 minutes showing you me downloading the Creation Tool. But like I said, you can get it online at their website. Just do a search on Creation Tool. And I've got the Creation Tool. I might down the line consider putting this on a DVD. So I've got the Creation Tool, so it doesn't have to. So it's the whole file. That might have saved a lot of time. having the thing on the DVD where it can do the whole install from the DVD instead of having to uncompress all the files and do the install on the drive. This way the DVD would just move everything over and it would all be set up. So that might have saved a lot of time. 13%, the drive is picking up again. Oh, come on, don't make me stay here all week, please. The poor Bowser. Oh. Oh, that hurts. Ow, my arms are so sore. Check out my channel if you spent an hour and 51 minutes on this thing. Check out my channel. I did a video. I did a couple of videos. I did the video where I started off with a 5-pound dumbbell and I started lifting it to try to push the muscle to exhaustion. And I was in so much pain. I was hurting. I got it to exhaustion and I pushed and pushed and pushed and I got to, that was with a 5-pound dumbbell, but I pushed to exhaustion. I got to 250, it's not, yeah, reps, I guess it's reps. And then I stopped. And then a few days later, I started with 2 8-pound dumbbells. The plan was to do them both at the same time and go left, right, or I didn't know what I was going to do. And it was more weight, but I pushed, but my arms were so sore from the couple days before with the 5-pound. Not only were they sore from a couple days before, but not being too smart, I did another workout with weights the next day, so I didn't even have the time to rest. And so I did the 8-pounders, and I pushed it to exhaustion after about like 10. I'm like, I can't do any more of these, I'm in so much pain. And then I did a whole bunch of stuff, and I pushed it to 50, and I said, come on, I can get to 100. And when I got to 100, I went, you know, I got to 100, I'm going to 150. That's what I did on the other video. I got to 150, and I said, if I can do 150, I can do 200, whatever I did. I don't know. Maybe I didn't do 150. Maybe I stopped at 150 on the first one. So I got it to, when I got to 200, I thought, I think on the first one, I did 225. I said, if I can do 225, I can do the same here. When I got to 225, I said, I can do 250. And 250, we're going to go to 300. And my arms are really sore. But then I had that problem with the fever, and that might have been a lot of pressure on the body. I don't want to go into detail about what, but a lot of clenching down of the muscles. So we're at 13%, almost at 2 hours. I know the battery light's going to go on very soon. It's usually something like 2 hours, 2 hours and 10 minutes or something. And I don't think it was fully charged when I started. I am definitely not going to do this video processing until tomorrow. We're at 15%. Maybe it would give me a little smile and jump up to 20%. I'm going to close my eyes for 15 seconds. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, losing my voice, 10, 9, 8, 7. I know if you're still watching this, you're saying he's an idiot because it hasn't moved. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Are we still at 15? We're at 17. Oh boy, I am just exhausted. Yep. This is probably going to be another half hour. It's going to be a 2.5 hour video. I posted 2.5 hour videos of me riding my bike. This is just nuts. Could you say nuts on YouTube? Yeah, this is really taking forever. Oh, I hear the hard drive picking up. The hard drive it's running. It's making noise. It's picking up. It's going. Something's going to happen. 17. And I've done enough installs, not on Windows 10, but I've done enough installs to know that's just how this stuff works. You be floating around 17% and boom, you're 25%, 35, 90, done. I don't know if it's going to be the same with this one. I'm hoping it is. I would love to stretch out and have my oatmeal and watch a little bit of comedy on TV at 11:35. And I know the Bowels are, I'm sure she's sound asleep because she's not going to sit in that room all stressed out for 2.5 hours. Even she won't do that. But she's sleeping. I'm sure it's not a deep sleep. And when everything quiets down, the lights go off, the camera gets shut off, the computer gets turned off for the night, she'll be very happy. And I'm just waiting for this install. I really don't know if after it does the install, if like most Windows things, there goes the voice. If like most Windows things, it will say there are updates, and then I'm going to have to go through a whole nother update thing. I don't know how this works. I don't know how their new installs work. Looking at the camera, don't see the red light on. We're approaching 2 hours. Ow, my belly. That's the area which caused the fever. Was the belly, and not a big issue, just something I deal with every now and then, and I know what it is, and I know how to deal with it, and I know how to deal with it the right way so that I don't have to deal with it for a long time, or days or weeks. Ow, oh, but it's hurting now. It's hurting for certain. You can close the curtain. Here we go, listen. That was an earthquake. Yeah, oh, speaking of earthquakes, we had an earthquake. Was it yesterday? No, I think it was 2 days ago. It was a 3.8, but man, I'm sitting here and pa-boom, bazoom, maloom. I mean, it was a big shake, like bump, and then it was an up-down jolt, dun dun. How do you like those sound effects? And it was only a 3.8, and it was only maybe like 5 miles from me. But this thing, the dog definitely didn't like it. She was not happy. And I told her, stop barking. People are sleeping out there. And she listened to me. But this thing was felt all over the place. And I was so fast because I was right at the computer when it happened. The minute it happened, I went and I put holy brr, which I never say, was that an earthquake? And I was so fast that I got my message out on there before the computer bots, before the earthquake bots got their messages out, or before the news. Well, there's nobody at the news stations now. It took forever for them to get their stuff out. The hard drives make a noise. But that was an intense quake. Now, we're in a bad time right now in this world. Otherwise, people would say, was that an earthquake, or did you make my, what's that joke? What's that line? Ooh, I thought I was going to sneeze. Did that just happen? Did you just make my earth, did you make the earth move, or I don't know what the line is. Looking at the camera, I don't see the red light on yet. I should probably sit up. I'm not cold anymore. See, that's just how my body is. I'm not cold. I just put let's just see, I'm sitting up now. I'm putting my hands around my arms, and they don't feel cold anymore. So I just don't get I don't understand how my body works at night, but that's just how it is. I put my hands, wrap them around, and my arms are not as cold as they used to be. Let me go to my neck. My neck's still a little clammy and sweaty. The back shoulders, just a little bit. I'm definitely hungry. I'm definitely tired. I just want this thing to end. I want this thing to install and be done with. 2 hours and 2 minutes. Do I blame this on the soft? Or do I blame this on the slow computer? Do I blame this on the processor? Do I blame it on the hard drive and the 5400 RPM junk? I'm tired. Yep, I'm tired. You can hear it in my voice. I was talking a billion miles an hour when I started. Okay, let's do the power of the mind. Dear Mr. Computer, you're at 19%, and I can't deal with this anymore. I need you to finish this out in the next 5 minutes. So we're 28 after, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. In 5 minutes, at 11:33, I need this thing to be almost done. So if I have the power of the mind to control electronics and installations and things that I have no power and control over, if the power of my mind can make this go to a full install in 5 minutes, I will be the most powerful person in this room. I don't know, should I bet on myself? Are you betting on me? Make sure you do a thumbs up, a subscribe, a like, a share, leave a comment, a happy comment. Check out my video description. I will be leaving an Amazon affiliate link in there. If you click on that link before you do one of your Amazon orders, I'll get a couple cents in my account for you doing that, because I'm an Amazon affiliate. So if you want to help me out, I would love it if you did that. And if you want to leave a donation in my PayPal account, that would be cool too. A few people have done that. I've saved people a lot of money with my videos. Some people have written to me and said, you've saved me hundreds of dollars and I want to give you something. And I don't care if they give me $5 or $20 or $1. It's just the thought that they did it, which I really appreciate, because I put an enormous amount of time into making videos. And yeah, it helps me out too, but I also do it for the people. So, I guess I don't really have any power. 28, 29, that was 3 minutes, and we're still at 2 minutes, and we're still at 19. So I said I'd be the most powerful person in the room, and that's about it. Nobody was listening to me. Nobody wanted to do what there's no universal power. Because if it worked, then I would say, see, I've got the power and the universe listened to me. But if it didn't work, then I'd say, see, the universe didn't want to listen to me because the universe wants to do what it wants to do. You can play that game any way you want, on any side of it. 2 hours and 5 minutes. The battery's going to go on this thing soon. I know it is. And I really want to get up and go get the other battery for when that happens. But I do not want to upset the Bowser. That's why I'm holding off. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to hold off, because I need water. My throat needs water. Got to get that water. I feel like I'm in the desert now. I don't know the last time I was in the desert. I don't live in the desert. I love dry heat. Do you like dry heat? Leave me a comment. If you like dry heat, donate to my channel. If you don't like dry heat, donate to my channel. Yeah, we're getting very close. The hard drive is making some noise. Making some noise. We got 2 minutes until this should have been done if I had the power to change the world. Oh boy, am I sleepy. That's the first thing that I'm going to do, is when this thing shows battery dead, I'm going to go get a glass of water, I'm going to put up my oatmeal, and then I'm going to go get the battery and put it in and start it up. I could put the battery in first so I don't miss much, but this is going to go on for 2 years. I don't know if I'm going to be able to... I've got a massive memory card in here. I got a 128 gig memory card. And it's probably a good thing I spent the money and bought it, because then I can post a really long, 21%, I can post a long video that nobody's going to watch. So 4 minutes ago I said in 5 minutes I want this thing to be done if I have the power. In 4 minutes it went up 2%. 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. We're at 5 minutes. I have no power. There is no power. What power? No power. Oh boy. I think I need to go to the bathroom. Yeah, so I gotta go to the bathroom, and then I need liquid, and I need my oatmeal, and I need a battery, and I need this thing to install. And I really don't think she's gonna wanna go out. I think she just will be happy that this is over with, and she'll go to sleep. It's a very good thing I got this tripod set up, because if I had to hold this for 2 hours and 8 minutes, I would have plotzed. You know what the word plots is? Go look it up. It's an awesome word. Don't plots while you're looking at plots, because then I'll plots. I think it says 2 hours and 8 minutes. Just insane. Not good. Not good at all. You know what I could do is I could go heat the water for the oatmeal. While the oatmeal's heating, I could go to the bathroom. I could go back and get the oatmeal and get some water. And by then, the camera would say the battery is dead. And I don't know. Oh wait, I'm looking at the camera now. It says April 23rd. Okay, so I was talking about my sister's birthday. I guess that was a week ago. Oops. She was probably saying they haven't called me in years to wish me happy birthday. But she hasn't called me in years to wish me happy birthday. Funny how greed causes people to do stupid things, and then pride causes them to be foolish and to not say, I'm sorry, I was wrong, and let's try to work things out however we can. And when you let it go for a long time, then you get to the point where you say, how do you work this out? Do I really want to be, do I even want to do this? And if you do it, do you want to do it? And are you going to be comfortable when you do it? And can you just forgive everything? Or do you really... It's just a mess. Yeah, it's a big mess. So, I don't know. That's the thing I like about... Here's a new topic. That's the thing I like about this camera, is that it's got an internal battery in it. Ooh, the hard drive's going. It's got an internal battery in it, so even when you disconnect the other battery, it remembers the date. The CMOS, maybe it doesn't have a battery, maybe it's got a cap in there. And it keeps the date going. But on the GoPro, you pull the battery out of the GoPro and the clock is gone. The clock and the date are gone. I don't like that part. It does remember the default setting to go back into for resolution, but it doesn't remember the date. So we are at 2 hours and 11 minutes, and we're at 21%. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to torture myself anymore making the video. I'm going to stand up, I'm going to go do a little visit to somewhere, and then I'm going to go take care of the food, and I'll be back. Oh, I almost fell over. Oh, that water's good. Oh, that water tastes nasty. I just had a sip of water. I get the water in the microwave. I put it in for 60 seconds. Go get myself that extra battery. I already went to the bathroom. I'm gonna go check the camera. So we got the battery ready. I went to the bathroom. I have one sip of water. I'm definitely warm in here. I'm looking at the temperature. Oh, look who walked in here. Hi, little lady. I love you. Oh, you're so beautiful. Look at you. You're my girl. And I love you very much. You're my girl. And I love you. How's my pooey? How are you, sweetie pie? Don't get so worked up. You don't have to get worked up over this. There's nothing to get worked up over, little lady. There's nothing to get worked up on. You're my girl. I love you. We're both here. Everything's fine. All you do, you just have to go to sleep and relax. Go to bed. Just go to bed. Everything's okay. You're my Zooey. You're my girl. You know, I know what you need. You know what a dog, she's looking at me. She's looking in my eyes. You know what a little lady like you needs? You need a little treat. She's all excited. Don't knock over the camera. Don't knock over the camera. Come here. Let me give you a snack. Let me give you a little snacky poo. That's what you need. A couple pieces of kibble. And you'll be a happy girl. Then you can go to bed. Yeah. You can go to sleep. You'll get your kibble zibble. Let me go have my oatmeal. Let me get the water. Let me get the oatmeal. Is that good? Are you happy? Okay, I want you to go to bed now. You be a good girl. You be a good lady and get some sleep. I'm gonna have my oatmeal. I'm gonna have my oatmeal. I have my water. I feel much better now that I went to the bathroom. All is good. All is good. Okay, so there's my oatmeal. Let me get this out of the way. That's your food thing. No, there's no food in there. There's no food. I want you to go to bed now, okay? Go to sleep. Let's go back to bed. I'll give you a little more food. You want a little snack? Here's a little more food. Here's a little more food for you. Okay, now you'll feel good. Go to bed. You go to sleep. Okay, so since I've been gone, oh my gosh, am I beat. And I really think it's not so much tired. Well, it's partially tired. Partially tired from the hours that I keep in boredom because I'm in the house all the time because of the lockdown and because I'm still partially recovering from what I had a couple days ago. But I also think I just didn't get enough calories and I'm probably very dehydrated right now and I need some food. And I've been sitting here doing nothing for 2 hours but recording this. So 28 after, I said in 5 minutes if I have the power. 28, 38, 39, 40, 41. So in 14 minutes, we have gone from 19 to 22. This is just nuts. Now she's walking over here, but she already ate. You don't get any of this. No, go to bed. Go to bed. I'm not being mean to her, just relax. This is how, if I just say, you have to go to bed, she'll come over and sit next to my side and want me to take her out there. Go to bed now. No more. No more. So when I was talking about how she's, go ahead. She's turning over her shoulder. She's looking over her shoulder to see what I'm saying. Go to bed. It's okay. You can go to bed now. Go to sleep. Good girl. She looked over her shoulder, wanted me to say it was okay, and now she's in her bed. In one of her many beds. And I think giving her that little snack made a big difference. It helped her out. It calmed her down a little. And once all of this gets shut off, we'll be even better. Boy, is that good. That is good. I definitely need the calories and the nourishment. Thank you for eating with me. During the shutdown, I have nobody to eat with except the doggy, the Bowser, the Pachmazach Malach. So, as I'm eating, I don't have a topic to discuss because I'm all talked out. I've been talking to you for 2 hours, 2 hours and 18 minutes. And the thing is, no one's going to be listening to any of this. It will just be wasting hard drive space on YouTube's system forever. Ooh, that's hot. And the tube's really fascinating to look at. There are people out there that are famous as can be, that are making $300,000 to $1 million a year. And the garbage that they post is just unbelievable. It's garbage. It is absolute junk. And it's shocking to me as a YouTube person to think that there are brains out there that are entertained by that stuff. And the minute these people put out the videos, they're watched in the comments, oh, we love you, it's so funny, it's the best thing ever. And you think, wow, are people like that out there? Is that for real? And I saw a fascinating video, read an article, and I saw the video that followed the article, talking about how the person was very young and set up a channel on how to put on makeup, just because that's what she wanted to do. This is how you put on makeup. People said, oh, this is really cool. And next thing you know, she's got a big following. She's got a huge following, and she's got a really big following. And she's making big bucks on this thing. She's not that old, and she's making big bucks. And how do you handle something like that? She was just doing the stuff in her house, making the videos and posting them. And pretty soon, she gets a manager. And she gets a recording team. She gets an audio team, and she gets production people. And she gets people that are booking her, and she's flying all around the world to do shows in person to be seen. And it overwhelms her, and she doesn't know how to deal with it. She doesn't know how to deal with the fame. She doesn't know how to deal with all the control. Everybody's controlling her life. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to do these shows. You got to make the video. We got to promote it. We got to put ads on here. And it was just too much for her. And it's the same story that you always hear. And then she ends up getting involved in things she shouldn't be involved in. And then she starts reading the comments that are left about her, and some people say she's great and other people say she's not, and she can't handle the rejection. And so she gets herself involved deeper with the stuff she shouldn't be doing. And then she can't live up to the demands of all the people that are putting her down and insulting her and degrading her in the comments section. And so she's looking for somebody to rescue her. She's looking for a rescuer, and she goes and finds him. And he's obviously, like all of them, the rescuer is always the one who abuses and takes advantage and controls and dominates and makes it even worse and gets you involved in more stuff that's bad for you that you shouldn't be doing. Chewing over here. Sorry about all that smacking. And she just loses her identity and who she is, and falls into the wrong crowd of people because of the boyfriend and because of her lifestyle, and can't keep up. It's your typical Hollywood story. Can't keep up with the pressure, and almost decides that she's not going to deal with this anymore. She can't cope with it anymore. And tells everybody, this is it. Tells the boyfriend, we're done. And of course, because he was the controlling, abusive person that she was attracted to, he doesn't want to leave her alone. And so she's got to deal with the restraining orders and the domination and the negativity. And, are we getting too gloomy here? And she stops making the videos. Cancels the contracts, production team, all the videos stop. She goes into her own little world, isolates. It takes years and years to find out who she is and figure out what she wants to do. And then what does she do? She gets back on and starts making videos again. But under her terms, by herself. And then she goes and hires a crew to do the videos. So you can't get away from that. But these people are considered stars. They are considered celebrities. They're considered celebrities for getting online, showing how to put on their makeup. Wow. And they're making $500,000. There are some people out there that are making millions of dollars. There is, I think right now it's the richest, he's the richest person on there. Very young, very, very young. And the channel is controlled by his parents. You know, the channel is his, so I don't know how they legally get around this thing. But the channel is, he's the star. And I think at his age, I don't even know if he can sign up, so I don't know how the parents can sign up and put him on. But I believe last year this person made $10 million off of the videos. Videos on reviews of stuff. 10 million bucks. By the time they're in college, they'll be worth over $100 million because people are watching that junk. And here I am struggling, posting so far a 2-hour and 25-minute video, asking people to watch it and support me. And let's face it, my video is about as good as the videos of those other people. It's just, But they've got the viewers, I don't. I'm starting to wake up. I definitely needed the boost of the oatmeal, the calories. I'm still tired, I can tell I'm dragging it through. Now, you don't get any of this. You can go to bed, but you don't get any. None for you. What I'm going to let you do, though, and I hope it doesn't give you the runs, but I'm going to let you lick the spoon. Come here. You can lick the spoon. Will that make you happy? You're a sweetheart. You're a good little lady. Okay, no more. I don't want to have to take you out for a big poopus. We're only at 24%. Okay, go to bed. Go to bed. Go to bed now. Go to bed. Go to bed. You don't get any more. Go to bed. I'm sorry I have to talk all night and upset you. But this shouldn't upset you. If you're a little lady, if you're a dog, you should just be able to go to bed and not worry about me talking. Go to bed. The battery died. The battery definitely died, and this battery says it's got 2 hours and 49 minutes to go. And there's no way this is going to take 2 hours and 49 minutes to finish, because we went through a whole install and then halfway through the installation thing with 2.5 hours. So this is going to be done pretty soon. I've been saying that for 2 hours and 49 minutes, but this is going to be done soon. Good thing I had the break. Good thing I was watching. It went 30 minutes and then a 29 and 22 minutes and then boom, low battery, red. I pressed the button. Hopefully it saved the whole file or the last part of the file. And we're recording again. We're definitely recording. I could get up and check my email, and I could check my other stuff. I could check my cell phone. Yeah, I don't want to do that. What else is going on? So things that you might consider getting, you don't have to get, but things to look at. I put a video on my channel for an oximeter. I think it's called an oximeter. They're really inexpensive. They only cost about 20 bucks or so. Some of them you can buy for 32. It depends where you buy it. If you buy it straight from China, you get a really good deal. 52%. Here we go. Oximeter. An oximeter, you put it on your thumb, on your forefinger. They use it in the doctor's office. They probably have much better quality than what you can normally pick up, but because they're using medical grade. But an oximeter just uses a little infrared LED that looks through the thumb, the blood flow or whatever it's looking at, and it tells you what your pulse is immediately. And it also calculates the percentage of oxygen. So if you're doing really good, you should be like, I think, I'm not a medical doctor, so I'm not taking any claim of knowing if this is right, but it should be in the upper 90s. You want it to be like 99, 98, 90 something. I put it on my finger. Sometimes it shows 98, sometimes it shows 95, sometimes it will show a 93, and then I'll readjust it and we'll go up to 96, 97. And that's what you want. And so they're really inexpensive, but when you're dealing with something like this virus, that's something you really want to have, because if you're at home and you're having problems with the breathing, but you're doing okay, but you're struggling with the breathing a little bit, and you have that meter and you put it on your finger, when you start getting under 90, when you start getting into the 80s, you better call and get help, because that means that the oxygen in your blood is not where it should be, and your body is in trouble and it needs help. So if you get a chance, go do a little bit of searching on oximeter. And if you buy it on Amazon, again, make sure you go to my video description and click on one of my Amazon affiliate links before it takes you to Amazon, and then do your purchase right then. Please, and it will help me. So oximeter is definitely a good thing to have. It's really neat, so at least you can check your pulse. Blood pressure thing is always a good thing to have. It's hard to know if they're accurate unless you go to the doctor and measure yours against theirs, but you can get an idea. What else is there? There's another one that I bought today. I think I'll do a review on it soon, but it arrived today. And anybody that's been in a hospital, anybody that's got asthma or breathing problems, they give you that little, I don't even know what it's called. It's usually a container. It might have a little tube on it that you blow in there, and there's a ball, and if you blow, as you're blowing into the thing, if your breathing's not good, the ball goes into the smaller area, and if your breathing's really good, you shoot the ball to the further side, and it goes into that area. And so it's just, or there might be 4 different balls in there, and depending on how much you blow decides how high the ball goes up in each column or one column. I don't know what the one is that I just bought, but I bought that, and it's a training thing to help you strengthen your lung capacity a little bit. And I was thinking, why not? I could definitely use that. I have a deviated septum, so I don't breathe in as well as I should. I take short breaths when I should be. I don't fill my lungs to capacity like I should. So I bought it, and that's, oh, I'm stretched out again. You can see my foot. Hello, Mr. Foot. Hello. So that's something to think about as I'm rambling on, is the oximeter and then the little breathing thing. I think I had one. I think I had one from my dad or my grandfather. I don't know, but I threw it out. I throw out a lot of stuff, and then later on I say, yeah, I could really use this, and I end up buying them. So, I bought that. I've got the oximeter, and I'm not expecting to get that thing, but it's scary out there. You just don't know. Most of the people that have it now were not expecting to get it. A lot of people were not protected. A lot of people did not know about it at the time, and they were around carriers, and they ended up catching it through no fault of their own. And then there are a lot of other people that they knew about this, but they were around a lot of people, and they were on flights, or they did not mask up, or they didn't know they should mask up, or they didn't know how serious it was, or they didn't know that you shouldn't touch surfaces and put your hand to your nose or your mouth. And they got it, and they suffered. So I've got a ton of masks. I went online. I bought a bunch of protective gear to take care of myself for, I'm assuming that I've got enough stuff to take care of me for about 6 months to a year. And if I need to buy more, I can buy more. You definitely want to protect your face. But there are people that say they protected their nose and their mouth, and they wash their hands, but they ended up getting infected. But the only way to get infected is through your mouth or your nose or your eyes. So unless you walked into a room where all the droplets were in the air and they got on your eyelids or on your eyeballs, the only way this if you're masked up, the only way this stuff is getting into your nose or your mouth is unless you're not masked properly, or you touch something and you put your hands to your mouth or your nose. But it's a frightening thing. It's just a frightening thought that any of us could get this, and it could completely ruin your life or your health, or take it all away from you through no fault of your own. Usually the people that are out there protesting, they want everything opened, and they're not social distancing, and they're not masked up, and they think this is a big joke, and it's all about their paycheck and their rights and their freedoms and their, if they catch it, that's just how it is. In fact, I read something 2 nights ago, maybe 3 nights ago now. There was a woman who was all over the internet and marching all over the place saying that this was a big hoax and none of it was real. I wonder who she got that from. The hoax in chief, but she was roaming around saying this is all a hoax and you can't believe it, and nobody should follow any of the rules, and she ended up catching it, and she is no longer here. And I'm sure if she knew at the time that she was going to catch it and she would no longer be here, she would probably say, oh, no, I'm not. This is not real. But ignorance, you cannot control it. So I'm lying down here on the floor. I've been on this floor for over 2.5 hours now. And I am definitely not comfortable. I'd love to turn on the heat. I think if I turn on the heat, the warmth that 1 extra degree of warmth will really help me. But it might also make me feel really too hot. And we just jumped up to 60, so maybe we're almost done. It was 28, 38, 48, 58. Oh, wait. It was 40 minutes ago. I said, if I have the power, this will be done in the next 5 minutes. I didn't have the power. Whoa, what did I just say? It just dropped down to 57. Working on updates. Why does it need to update? Why? I just don't understand how this thing works. You would think it goes in there and installs the thing and then does after it installs and it goes out and grabs the updates. Why does it have to do the update while it's doing the install? I don't know. But the last few times that it's started up again, or restarted, I saw the Windows 10 logo in the center, and I didn't see the Windows 7 desktop, which makes me really question, do I still have those programs or the apps or whatever you want to call it? My poor little girl, my poor little dog is not happy. The things I do for my fans that will not be watching this video. I have the dumbbell here. I could definitely do a little bit of stretching and exercise. Ow. Ow, ow. That just shows you how tired I am. I thought that the dog was behind me rubbing against my elbow, and I turned around and she was not there. I could do some stretching and exercise now, but I don't want to exhaust myself any more than I have to. This really shouldn't go on much longer, as I keep saying, but we're past the halfway point now. And I just don't understand what goes into this whole update thing that makes this take so long. I mean, normally if you have the Windows CD, you put it in there and it does the install in about 15-20 minutes. Even if you're doing a new upgrade, if you're doing an install of Windows 7, you put it in, it does the install in about 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Well, it's slow. It got slower as it got out of date. But maybe it would take you up to an hour, and then it would go and it would reboot, and you'd have to do the updates and reboot, and you'd have to do the updates, and this would go on and on and on and on forever. So we're at 77, or is that 71? With this thing, I don't understand the whole process of maybe it does the install and then it just keeps looking for the drivers and everything and keeps installing, but it never restarts, or it doesn't restart that often. That's why it doesn't make any sense. But we're very close. We're very, very close. I'm stretching. There's Mr. Foot again. I think you can see Mr. Shoe, Mr. Sock. I got these powerfully bright lights in the ceiling above me that are annoying me, that I want to get turned off, but then you wouldn't be able to see the screen, and it might cause me to drift off, and then I'd wake up shaking all over the place because I'd be cold from sleeping without being covered up. Oh boy, the things I'm going through. Okay, make sure you leave a comment if you got through to the end of the video, or if you got to this point. Yes, I'm just stretching out the back, trying to relax the neck. I am definitely going to have a good night's sleep when I finally finish this thing. I'm wondering why the heater hasn't come on, and I'm looking, and I think I turned it off. I think I turned it off because it was so warm I really didn't need any more heat. But even if the heater was set to go on, the temperature hasn't changed the whole night, which is very weird. It is usually the temperature goes all over the place. When it's cold outside, this place definitely recognizes that it's cold outside. And when it's hot outside at night, when it's summertime, boy, does this place get hot. But it's doing neither right now. It's just holding the temperature, which is weird. It's quiet tonight. My neighbor of many years, lost his battle with whatever he was dealing with a couple weeks, like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And his daughter's been showing up every night. I don't know why. I don't think she does anything in the daytime, but she's here in the daytime, moving stuff out, cleaning the place up. It's not like it's that big of a place. And I know when somebody's gone, you go in a room or you go in the house and you go, how in the world am I going to deal with all of this? All these possessions, a whole lifetime of possessions. What do I do with it? But she's here almost every night for hours and hours and hours. I saw her 2 nights ago. She was moving some food out of here. And a couple days ago, she was here with somebody else. And they were moving a bunch of stuff that they were taking over to the garbage can, to the dumpster. So I would just think you come in here on a weekend and you start looking at all the stuff that you've got, and you bring the boxes and you box everything up that you want to get out. Well, she's got to take everything out because she's going to rent it out. You box everything up, and then you spend $20 and you rent a truck, and you move the stuff over to your house, and you figure out what you're going to do with it from there. But she's out here every night for hours and hours and hours, and lots of banging and thumping. And so this thing has been sitting on 77. Oh, we're only at 71. I thought it's at 77. Oh my God. Wait, I'm looking at the camera right now. Remember when I started this thing, it said it had an hour. Oh. Ooh, that made me nervous. It said it had 2 hours, I think, and 49 minutes, and I looked and I went, whoa, why does it say I've got 16? No, it's been recording for 16 minutes. How long does this thing take? Wait a second. There's an R on there that says 0 hours 24. Does this mean I've only got 24 minutes of recording left? If this thing drops down to 23 minutes, maybe we're almost done. It just went blank. That's the first time it's gone blank for that long. I was just going to say, in a few seconds, I'm going to have to get an extension cord and the power cord, and I'm going to have to plug it into this camera. But I think we're almost done. I think we are very close to being done. This is the first time it's done a complete reboot. Before, it did a partial reboot, and then it jumped over to a couple percent above what it did before. This time it was a full rebootos. A rebootosimos melosimos. If this thing goes back to 71%, I'm just going to be pissed. I cannot deal with this any longer. I cannot cope with this. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, wait, 16, 17. It was 48 minutes ago I said in 5 minutes this thing needs to be done. If I have the power. Don't go back to 71%. Don't do that to me. 77, 78, 81, 82, 85, 80, 86. Let me look at the camera. Where are we at? It's got 23 minutes left to go. 86%. If this thing drops down to about 15 minutes, I'm going to grab the power cord really fast. Because there's no way that I'm going to miss the last couple minutes of this thing. After recording for, what, 3 hours? $22 minutes of recording left. It didn't show that on the other one. I don't know if that's part of knowing if it's a real battery or not. We're at 22 minutes. The minute it goes to 20 minutes, if this thing isn't at 90-some%, I'm going to go grab the power cords, get everything ready, just in case. I'm trying to think of where do I charge that thing up from. I've got 2 power cords. I know where one of them is. I'm not 100% sure where the other one is. I've got so many AC adapters here. It's so confusing. 86%. We're at 22 minutes. I'll give this 2 more minutes to get to 90, like 91%. I don't think. Let me get ready just in case. Let me get prepared. This is not good. This is not good. I don't know where my other power cord is. I think it's somewhere back there, but I don't know. Let's watch this for another minute and see where we're at. Now it shows that recording is 21 minutes. We're at 86%. We're not good here. Oh my God, I'm so unorganized. I'm so unorganized. 20 minutes, I gotta get this going. I got the AC adapter. The other thing that I've got is plugged into, oh my God. Okay, that's the wrong cable. I never set up is this the power cord? That's the power cord. I never set up this power cord for this camera. Okay, what am I doing? I never needed to. We're at 20 minutes. I'm gonna get this thing ready. Let me get this off of here. Get the power cord ready. Thanks for sticking with me this whole video. I know nobody's watching, but that's okay. Plugged in. Now I've got to get a power strip or an extension cord, and then we're ready to go. Nope, none for you. I can't believe this. Unbelievable. That's why I can't believe it, because it's unbelievable. I have a power strip that I normally use, and I have no idea where it is. I have a bunch of power strips, but I've been cleaning the place up, and everything's been moved around, and so it's not really cleaned up because it's an even bigger mess. Oh, almost fell. I want to plug this power cord in here, and I almost unplugged the... Oh, come on. Oh, my God. And the dog saw me moving around, and she wasn't happy, so she followed me. And if I can get this thing plugged in, come on, plug in. Power strip is plugged in. Oh, boy. Almost fell. Almost fell. Okay, I don't know if this is going to shut off the camera, but I've got... Is this power on? How do I know if the power's on this thing? it's got a power switch. I don't know if the power's on. How do you know if the power's on this thing? Wait, that's not the right cord. This is not the power cord. How do I charge this thing up? No, that's the video. I'm all confused. That's not the power cord. That's the video transfer cord. I definitely don't want to do that. I'll blow this thing apart. Where is the AC power cord? Is that it? Is that it? That's it. That's it. Whoa, I can't believe that they do that. That was dangerous. Okay, I got that. That's the power cord. That plugs into the AC adapter. And now I'm going to know in 2 seconds. We're at 16 minutes. We're at 87%. I'm going to plug this in and see what happens. It still shows the same time. I don't know if I'm getting power from this. Let me unplug this. Nothing's changed. The screen just lit up, so I'm assuming, I don't know what the R means. If this drops down to 14 minutes, it dropped to 13 minutes. I'll be back. This makes absolutely no sense at all. We're at 91%. I just hope this thing finishes off. Because it says I've got 15 minutes. I'm trying to... Maybe this won't record with the power strip. Oh, I've got another battery. I have another battery that will not last a long time, but I'll probably use it if I need it. This is going to be a day of charging up batteries. I just want to get to 100%. We're at 14 minutes. Let me get that extra battery. Let me take all this junk and put it in the box from when I bought it. All these cables that I never set up. Let me grab that other battery. We're at 14%. Where is that extra battery? In fact, if I need it, I've got 3 extra batteries of partial charging, so I should be able to finish this video off. We're at 92%. I just want to get this thing done. I don't know what this means. It shows that it shows R 14 minutes. I don't know if that means I have recording time of 14 minutes left, because I've never seen that before. And on the other camera, when I plug in the power thing, it works. So I'm confused. 13 minutes. Yeah, this is not a good thing. But I do have the other battery that should get me through at least another 5-10 minutes of recording. We're at 93%. We're almost done. I've been saying that forever. 94%. Thanks for sticking with me, everybody. I think 2.5. We're at 3 hours for the video right now at 94%. Unbelievable. All I want to do is see Windows 10 installed, 95%. 13 minutes, 96%. I want to see I want to see a reboot to Windows 10. And I want to see, do I have my programs, and I want to see that it's probably verified, because never did it ask me for a serial number, for a key. 97, 13 minutes of recording time left, maybe. Very confused why it's doing that. I just don't understand. Now I'm going to pull this power cord out now and see what happens. And when I do that, the screen goes dark and it shows 12 minutes. And when I plug this back in, the screen goes bright and it shows 12 minutes. 97%, we're almost there. 3% to go, 12 minutes of recording time left. Are we all excited? Who stuck with me? I should have a reward for somebody who stuck with me, but I've offered lots of rewards before. On my channel, I've offered discount codes and rewards and free items. Here's a free giveaway. Write to me and leave a comment and you get a free item. Nobody wrote to me or left the comment. 98%. We're almost there. 12 minutes of recording time left. So, put my finger on the mouse, see if I can brighten the screen up. No, that's not brightening up. 12 minutes on the other thing. The only thing I don't want to happen is right as it starts to reboot, this battery dies. Oh boy. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I can't wait for this to end. I'm going to kick back, remove these clothes, and then I'll get even colder and more chilled, but I'll be able to cool down a little bit and get some sleep. Oh, it's 12:31, so much for watching the comedy shows tonight. Is that at 99%? Are we at 99 yet? We're still at 98. We have 11 minutes supposedly left of recording time before I switch to the next battery. Oh, your PC will restart 100%. Here we go, people. This is big news for all of us. I'm very excited. 11 minutes of recording time. Working on updates 100%. Don't want to turn off your PC. Okay. Oh boy. I'm really glad that I stuck with this. I'm glad that I got that big gulp of orange juice. I'm glad that I had the oatmeal. We're rebooting, hopefully for the last time. I wonder if it gives you a message saying your Windows 10 has been installed, or if it just, that's it. That's it, people. Oh my goodness. Can you believe this? I would expect it to say put in your password or set up your account, or because that's what Windows 10 always does. Set up your account, sign into. In fact, I've got a couple videos. If you run into that problem, I got a couple videos on how to set it up to get around the demand, the requirement that you install a Microsoft account. Let's see what happens here. Do I have a mouse? I have a mouse. Let me click on the Windows 10. Interesting, it wants a password. Now I had it set up with a password before, so I'm wondering, is it going to remember the password? Did it keep the password? Did it, we're at 9 minutes, we're very close. It hasn't rejected it yet. We're in, okay, it says hi. I don't remember what the name was that I had. We've got some updates for your PC. Oh my God, that's what I just did for 3 hours. This might take several minutes. That's what it told me 3 hours ago. Oh my goodness. I know I'm going to have to put in another battery. Oh, why did I even record this? I'm talking to myself right now. I've been talking to myself for 3 hours. Nobody's listening to this. Nobody's watching this video. But it's good training for the dog so that she can learn it's okay to listen to me talk and to not get all stirred up. And I'll label all these batteries tomorrow or today, and I'll get them all charged up. And I'll try to figure out why this thing did not want to record. with the power cord in it. Yeah, this is not going to take several minutes. This is going to take several years. These updates help protect you. You would think, what just happened for 3 hours? It kept on saying it was doing updates. Like I said, as long as I get the Windows 10, I'm happy. We got 8 minutes left on this thing. I'm going to turn this off and let it charge up for a couple. I'll be back. And there we go, people. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in there and do a little bit of the setup and try to get past all of this so I can show you the rest of the install, and then I'll be done. This, people, it's a full install. Got the Toshiba thing down there. So I kept the Toshiba. It's got all this junk on the bottom, so I'm going to install that Windows thing to make it look like Windows 7 and get rid of the Windows 10. You can see down on the bottom and the Avast, it kept the Avast and it kept shows unprotected. It shows my speakers are at 76%, 99% battery charge. Remove the media, that's the Windows Security Action recommended. I don't know what that is. And I don't care. Well, let me go look. I got 7 minutes. But when I do that install of the Windows 7 thing to make it look like the Windows 7 Classic, all this stuff will change. I'll get rid of the Katana and the search engine, and I don't even know that I need to do that. I'll find out in a minute. I want to get rid of the search box over here. Let's go scroll. Yeah, I don't like any of this garbage on here. I do not like Windows 10. I don't like the look of it. I don't know. I've never learned it, and I don't want to learn it. Action, sign into the Microsoft for enhanced security. No, I don't need to do that. So I'm going to turn that off. And one other thing, I've got Cyberlink. Where is it? Cyberlink, that's recorder. Cyberlink Power Director Pro 64-bit, which is my... Wow, did I put that on this thing? Oh, okay. Is that the one that I bought? I didn't say that. If Cyberlink comes up, this is a big program. If this thing comes up, then this will be a good machine to keep. I don't know if it's any faster. The 5400 RPM thing drive on here, just a piece of trash. That's why I'm just sitting here waiting for something to happen. Plus, there's a whole bunch of Windows stuff that needs to be shut off so that it works the right way. I mean, look at this. How long does it take for a program to start up? And this is a fairly, well, it's not new, but it's a fairly decent laptop of its time with a good amount of memory. And nothing is happening. And that's the whole problem again with the 5400 RPM drives. They're just trash. Nothing's going on. Look at this. What is that? Is that a video that I posted a while back? LAX video. 13-minute 4K video. I've got about 5 minutes. Concurrent user sessions are not supported. Oh. Okay, I understand that. What's coming up here? I clicked on a video. I'm assuming this is Microsoft's, there's my, okay, I posted this video too. Okay, so that works. And that was pretty fast. This might have worked. We're at 4 minutes left of recording. This completes my video on how to install an upgraded version of Windows 10 from a Windows 7 machine. I honestly thought that all of the apps would be wiped out. And I'm really surprised that they are not. But I don't know why this is not running. Look at this. It's still loading in. Java update available. Can you believe this? Oh my goodness. When it gets to 2 minutes, I'm going to shut it off. But I clicked on the CyberLink PowerDirector Pro app program a couple of minutes ago, and we're still not even in there. We're not even, it's not even on. Let's click on the Malwarebytes, see if that will load up. If that loads up, that's at least a good thing. It's an even better thing, because that means that while CyberLink is trying to load, this thing is going to load. And Malwarebytes is always a nightmare to load. It's a memory hog. Yeah, look at all this junk on here. Look at all this stuff that's pinned to here. I don't like Windows 10. Malwarebytes is not started. You would think it would have started right now. What is this, Malwarebytes, or is it PowerDirector Pro? I just want to see that something's going to run. Malwarebytes not responding. Oh my goodness. Malwarebytes started up. PowerDirector Pro has not started up. We've got less than 2 minutes left. I'm going to click PowerDirector Pro one more time and see if we get cannot start again, or if it's just going to start up. PowerDirector Pro. There it is, people. Close that out. That took about 5 minutes to load in. I don't know if it's because it's a slow piece of garbage machine or not, but Windows 10 is definitely installed and working, and the poor little lady, the dog, is not happy. Thank you for watching and staying with me. Yes, apps do run. It's no guarantee that they're going to run if you do the install like I did, but it did work. Peace out.